there. And my biggest takeaway, besides the Kings getting absolutely screwed, all right, to end the game by that bogus foul call, my other takeaway is that Maxime Raynaud is an NBA player. Now, you might say, well, no duh, Allen, he's playing in the NBA. But it's deeper than that, right? It's deeper than that. We've talked about this before, and I'm not going to say names because I'm not going to be disrespectful, but everybody that plays in the NBA is not an NBA player. They might be in the right place at the right time, and they get to play in the NBA. But when I say an NBA player, somebody that will be on rosters for the next 5 years, whatever you want to call it. That's not necessarily the case when somebody is in a good situation or a fortunate situation and they get to play some games, even maybe a season in the NBA. Maxime Raynaud is an NBA player, right? He is an NBA player. And what he's doing right now, the defense ain't there. The three-point shooting ain't really there yet either. We thought it'd be further along, but the dude is battling. He took 20 shots last night. We've talked about him being a 4 instead of a 5. I think he can play both. A career high, 29 points. Okay, he had 11 rebounds, and he's going up against a Donovan Clingan. That's somebody who is around, obviously Donovan Clingan went way higher in the draft, but this is a measuring stick for him. And both of them, like I said, defense was kind of optional because Clingan, who hadn't really been scoring like that, if I'm not mistaken, I wouldn't be surprised if 19 was Donovan Clingan's career high because he hadn't typically been scoring like that. He gets up against a young center. So they both did their thing, right? They both did their thing. And Maxime Raynaud, he might find himself in a Rising Stars game if he keeps this up. I want to start having the conversation, what do we do when Domantas Sabonis is back? That's literally the conversation that I want to start having. You know why? Because they still only got 6 wins. So why don't we just try some stuff?
By the way, Donovan Clingan's career high is 22.
Okay, well, he got close. All right, so they were both kind of doing their thing. And I want to talk about Maxime Raynaud when Domantas Sabonis comes back because I just want to see it. Right? Everybody wanted to see Domantas Sabonis along with Valanciunas. We have the meets. And I don't know that we saw that for 2 seconds, it felt like.
We have the meets.
But why not? Why not? I know defensively it could be rough, but like I said, they're losing games anyway. So I just wanted to give a shout out to a lot of great games, 2 overtimes. You had overtime from Seahawks, the Sea Chickens and the Rams, okay, the fraudulent Seahawks. Kyle, the whole time I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I can't wait to walk into the studio. I've been calling the Seahawks the Sea Chickens. I've been calling them frauds, and they look so fraudulent. Sam Darnold, 2 picks and a fumble, 3 picks and a fumble. I can't wait to walk in there and talk about how fraudulent the Seahawks are. And then I go upstairs to put baby number 2 to sleep, okay, for one of her quick naps before we fully put her to sleep. And it's 30-28. I come back downstairs, it's 30-30. I go to get a bevy, come back from getting a bevy, and the Seahawks are winning off a A.J. Barner crazy broken play where the Rams just completely lost him. Puka went for 2,000 yards, and it didn't matter. By the way, the Puka thing, I know he's an outstanding wide receiver, but doesn't it feel like he runs one route and they just choose not to guard it? It feels like Puka just runs 8,000 slants a game, and it's just unguardable.
No, they threw deep balls all game to him. What are you talking about?
They're deep slants. It's the same slant over and literally those 2 touchdowns was the same play.
It's either a slant or a deep post.
And they can't stop it or screen. Those are the 3 routes, and they've been doing it for 3 years, and nobody can stop it.
And he's the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, so that was an outstanding game. Overtime in that game, Seahawks get it done. How about putting your you-know-what's on the table and going for 2? I know normally you go for 2 if you're on the road. The Seahawks said, bleep this. We don't want Sam to throw another pick. Just go ahead and go for 2, and they got it, and they win. So that was outstanding. Then we got overtime in the Blazers-Kings game, and, of course, we all wanted to see how Mark Davis could inject himself into that basketball game. I know that's what I thought. Man, this is such a good basketball game. Maxime Raynaud, career high. Donovan Clingan, two young bigs just battling it out. You had Shaedon Sharpe. We called it, by the way. Shaedon Sharpe did his thing with 26 points. My guy, Deni Avdija, with 35. But you know what I want to see? I want to see Mark Davis put the ball in his own hands to end the game. That's what I want to see. That's what the good people of Portland and the Kings fans out there. I know I saw a Westbrook fan out there. We had Keegan fans out there. But that's what they came to see. They came to see Mark Davis in overtime make a call that would alter the game. As DeMar DeRozan, how could I skip over DeMar DeRozan? As DeMar DeRozan took the bull by the horns and said, I'll give you 33 and what should have been a game winner. But it wasn't about that. Because I know that's what I wanted to come on these radio airwaves and on the digital side of things too. That's what I wanted to talk about. Mark Davis, and what an outstanding call, outstanding game that Mark Davis and the refs had. And you know what's going to happen during this game, right? Or during this show. The 2-minute report's going to come out. It wasn't a foul. And again, we have no clue what to do with that. But that's what I wanted. So thank you, Mark Davis. That's what I had on my Whitey Gleason watch list. Watch the rookies do their thing, watch the Kings compete, and watch Mark Davis call a you-know-what foul to end the game. That's what I wanted, Mark Davis. That's what I wanted. I wanted you to rob all of us of our viewing pleasure. Take the ball into your own hands and call a foul. The craziest thing about those fouls is that you know there's no plan, right? You know Deni Avdija is trying to grift. You know Deni Avdija is trying to induce some type of, interaction, right, or physicality because they're in a bad spot. And that's the thing about the Sacramento Kings. Sometimes it's tough to be a Kings fan, I'd say more often than not, but this is the type of stuff that only happens to the Kings. I'm going to say it. This is the type of stuff that only happens to the Kings. That call is not getting called by Luka and LeBron. If it got called on the Lakers, oh my goodness. Literally, that ref would be fired. Literally. If it got called on the Lakers, on the Knicks, on these teams that have a certain level of cachet, on the Celtics, he'd be out of here. But the Kings, yeah, we'll just screw them over. Now, maybe it is helping because the Kings are kind of tanking, but that's besides the point. You can tank and still have some feel good, as Kyle always likes to say. And Mark Davis last night, for some godforsaken reason, decided to take away even Portland. I think Portland, if you ask a Portland fan, did that feel good? I know they like the win because they're Portland fans, but you got to watch a real game, and it got robbed. It got robbed, and there are ways to fix the robbing, and they did not fix the robbing. All that Russell Westbrook was sitting on the scores table. I mean, it was ridiculous. And now all we'll get on this Friday in a couple hours, it might already be out, is the 2-minute report saying it was incidental contact and it should not have been called a foul. That's all we'll get. This brings me back, because let's not forget with our guy, Colby Jones, let's not forget all those years ago when Colby got whacked in the head by the Celtics and it didn't get called. Now, I remember being on these airwaves and everybody was mad at me because I said I don't care, because the Celtics kind of embarrassed the Kings because they took all their guys out and the Kings made a random comeback against the Celtics bench, Peyton Pritchard and a bunch of random players. So I said, look, I know it was a foul, but the Kings did not earn that win. That's that's the basketball gods evening things out, okay? But this is different. These are two teams in overtime that played their you-know-what's off. And the Kings deserve that. I know in sports we don't like to say that because, well, if you deserve something, you did it, you win. To come back from down 18 with everything the Kings have been through, right? Malik's on the bench. We'll talk about that. We don't know why. He just didn't come up in the rotation. The brother was in his sweats the whole time. He didn't even warm up. So there's all that going on, all that swirling. And we just want to just give me a little taste of just a little feel good, just a little. Can I just get a little bit? We can go back to tanking, but on one night, here, you can win on Saturday. We don't care when you come. And I know you'd like to win against a team at home, but we don't care. Just give us this feel good in this moment for them to work that hard. And for Doug Christie, who's been through the ringer already, for all that to get snatched from the Kings in 2025, we're almost in 2026, and we're still doing this. The NFL finally got rid of the chain gang, and now they're doing the lasers. We're still doing this. At what point will we stop doing this in sports where the most obvious things, it's so frustrating to me because this is on the other side. When you go to when you play pickup, right, it's always this awkward situation where if somebody doesn't say a foul loud enough, right, the person who fouled will get all salty. And I've always said, hey, if everybody stops, it was probably a foul, right? So you drive to the lane, somebody kind of gets you, and, it kind of stops. And the guy's like, well, are you calling a foul? Are you calling a foul or not? Well, yeah, I'm calling the foul. We all stopped playing. You hacked me, right? It's obvious. But if it was for game point or something like that, it's a different situation. You don't want it to come down to that. That's where people get salty. So I just can't understand for the life. And by the way, I just want y'all to be clear about this, because when we get on NBA players, all right, when we get on NBA players, we will talk about how NBA players make so much money, and that's a big reason why we feel empowered to say some of the things we say. That's why we feel empowered to boo at times, even though Kyle doesn't enjoy the booing. But that's a lot of the reason why we feel like that, right? Because they're making so much money and they're the 1% of the 1%. So it's a little bit different. Let me tell you something. Maybe Kyle don't like booing players, but if you want to boo referees, let's not sleep on how much referees make, okay? This is from front office sports. Don't laugh, Kyle. NBA salaries aren't typically made public, but some figures have been uncovered. Based on experience and performance, hold on. Based on experience and performance, NBA referees can earn as much as $550,000. $500,000. Maybe that's why Mark Davis thought, well, I'm getting paid to make calls. Now I should you're getting paid to don't do anything. Just sit there. In that moment, just sit there. Depending on experience and skill level, NBA referees just breaking into the league start much lower. Oh, much lower. What could that be? Between $150 and $250K. That's more than a lot. That's more than 80% of Americans make. That's more. Then you get to the 55 because Mark Davis been around. I don't think Mark Davis at 150. I definitely don't think so. And here's the kicker. Most refs, because it's a season, don't work full time, okay? So they're either reffing in college or doing other things. They don't even got to work 365 days a year to make $300,000, and all they do is blow calls in the worst moments, Kyle. You're getting paid to do nothing in that moment. You're getting $550K to just sit there, and they couldn't do it.
Do you feel better now?
No.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. I was not laughing. Well, I was laughing sort of at the rant, but the other part is like, I just can't get mad at refs anymore, no matter what happened. After the Rams-Saints NFC Championship debacle, however many years ago, that was the moment where I was just like, I can't get mad at refs anymore. I can't do it. So, hey, took from them there. They'll give it back at some point down the line.
Will they?
I don't know.
Kyle?
I don't know.
Because I don't know that.
But it's out of my control, and the universe will decide that. Again, it's fine. Draper was on the postgame show saying he thought it was a foul and that they had gotten away with it. So,
come off it. Come on now.
Different people got different thoughts.
I watched. I got eyes. I wish Draper would barge in here today. I'll make him do crosstalk. You're not going to run around saying crazy stuff like that. And here's the thing, and that's what my wife will have to say to me at times. That's what my mother will have to say to me at times, my father, my sister. There's a time and a place, Allen. There's a time and that's what Whitey will tell me. right? That's what our boss Jose will tell me. Hey, it's not that that's a bad take. Chris Watkins would have to tell me this all the time. Allen, it's not that it's a bad take. Maybe not today. You got to work on your time and place, and I've worked on it. Come on, Drapes. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that.
Who cares? That's kind of my
care.
If the foul's called, look, Denny was trying to sell for the foul, and Denny got the foul.
But they know that. They know that. They know that. It's not unethical on Denny. That's what you're supposed to do. That's on you, Mr. 550K. That's on you. That's why you go to ref school. Hey, at the end of games, what's Denny going to do? We all knew it.
By the way, can I just say on that part, I know this economy is tough out here, but I don't want to normalize thinking that $125,000 a year job is living the high life in America.
Well,
like
look,
more people should be making $125,000. That seems like a normal salary.
I'm going to get into reffing myself. That's Kyle. That's just when you start out.
Again,
Mark Davis probably making $500K.
No, Allen, this is when you start out at the highest levels of your profession. There are people out here making $70 an hour coaching at the local college.
Sure.
Or reffing at the local college.
And hey, at least with Juke, I'll never. Hold on, Kyle. I'll tell you this much right now. Remember when I told you that Contra Costa College state playoffs when we lost because we gave up a grand slam? So there's another part of that story, and I will briefly get into it. So I had a base hit, right? And I get on first base, okay? So back in the day, a little bit of a base stealer, and I'm juiced up. It's the state playoffs, you know what I mean? I get on first base, and the pitcher was left-handed, okay? The pitcher, it was a balk. We all knew it was a balk, okay? The pitcher picks over, and I don't move. Because clearly his leg crossed over. You can't do that. Hey, that's a balk. The ump just stands there and rings me up. I got picked off. So I take my helmet, and to this day, my buddies will text me just randomly. I take my helmet, I chuck it into the dugout. I say, already? Because I was a leadoff. It was the first at-bat of the game. They almost kicked me out of the state playoffs, and that's one thing. You are a junior college ump, state playoffs. Those were high enough stakes for me, Kyle. We ended up, maybe I don't get picked. Maybe we win. Maybe we get drafted. Maybe I get drafted. Maybe I'm in left field.
Maybe 15 years from now, you're not yelling on the radio about it.
Maybe not. It changed everything. And Mark Davis could have changed everything for the Kings in that moment because he wants to give Grifter Denny these free throws for absolutely no reason.
Do you feel better now?
Ridiculous.
Do you feel better now?
I just can't believe it, man. I mean, I can believe it. Let's make a list, okay? Let's make a list of all the teams. And by the way, the Warriors, they were in a 0.4 situation as well, but they did actually foul. I think it was Draymond, and I'm surprised they called that, but they ended up losing to the Suns. But in that situation, let's make a list of all the teams that would never happen to. Let's do it right now. The Spurs, we got Mr. Wemby, Area 51. The Spurs, they wouldn't call that. Come on, Kyle. The Lakers, they wouldn't call that. Who else, Kyle? The Nuggets, they're champions from 3 years ago. They wouldn't call that.
Thunder.
The Thunder, no, only they can grift, but you cannot grift upon the Thunder. They're not calling that. The Rockets, oh my goodness, they got Kevin Durant now. They do things the right way. Who else, Kyle? Who else?
I don't know,
Who else?
Allen.
Let's go to the Eastern Conference. The Celtics. Oh, my goodness. It's Beantown, baby. Well, we got championships, and Larry Bird was here. Who else, Kyle? The Knicks. Hey, they got Rucker Park, and they started basketball. It's a big deal. Spike Lee's here. We can't call that. Who else, Kyle?
The Pacers.
No. Oh, my goodness. Where's Waldo? Tyrese Halliburton. Oh, my goodness. We can't call that. Who else, Kyle?
I don't know,
The
Allen.
Miami Heat culture. Oh, you can't call that. Must not be a foul. Eric Spoelstra is the best coach I've ever seen in my life. Who else, Kyle?
The Bucks.
No, the Bucks. Oh, Giannis. He likes Twinkies and Oreos. We can't call that.
I don't know, Allen. The Cavs.
No, they'll call them the Cavs. LeBron's gone. We're calling them the Cavs.
Okay, fine. You made your point. There's like 12 teams.
And on the other side, they're calling it on the bum Jazz, okay? Because they signed Will Hardy to 12 years for no reason.
I don't know, Memphis.
Oh, my God. Oh, Ja? Oh, no. We got to kick them out the league. You got to call it on the Grizzlies. Okay, they're bums. I'm surprised. If it was the other way, they're calling it on the Suns. We know that. They're calling it on the Sixers because everyone can't stand Embiid. They're calling it on the Hawks just because the Hornets, they hate LaMelo. So that's the bucket that the Kings fall in. And they got robbed. They got completely hosed last night. 18 they were down. And I'm not asking for much. And I know, we're trying to lose anyway, tanking. I don't care about that in that moment. There will be, trust me, there will be plenty of games for the Kings to lose. But I wanted that one, man. 2-8 now, their last 10. They've lost 4 in a row. They are, like I said, 6-21, and that's all I wanted. Let me tell you right now. The Jazz have 10 wins. It's the Kings, the Clippers, and the Pelicans. They all have 6. So what's one more win, man? The Wizards got 4. I mean, that's just embarrassing. And the Pacers got 6. Nets with 7-19. It just would have been nice. I wanted that out of the whole tanking conversation. I wanted that for Doug. I wanted that for DeMar.
It would have been the win of the year.
I wanted that for Russ. I mean, they only got 6.
Russ, I don't know how many Russ got left.
Russ was when Russ was sitting on the table, I felt that so much. When he was sitting on the scores table, I felt that in my soul.
Didn't someone else come over and sit next to him too?
I would have walked down and I would have sat right next to him, man. We needed that. Now, there is business to attend to. Okay? Because with Keon Ellis getting 32 minutes, is it just that simple as to why Malik Monk got 0? Is it that simple, or is there something greater going on? The reports of the reports and the truth shall set you free. You can already tell it's going to be a spicy Friday. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today.
What will a Maverick do? 'Cause you're a Maverick too.
Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments. Some restrictions apply.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because, again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. It was a couple of years ago that I walked into the Mercedes-Benz of Stockton showroom for the very first time, and let me tell you, I was blown away. Not only did they have the finest cars I've ever seen, the people I encountered, whether it was Jane, whether it was Dante, Jason, you name it, they were all friendly to me. And now is the perfect time for you to head to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton because it's the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. You may say, Drapes, what's the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration? Well, for starters, you can get a car with 3-year prepaid maintenance on select models. And because it's nearing the end of the year, important tax breaks are available right now. Plus, they have low rates on new vehicles and certified pre-owned vehicles. So see for yourself. Head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton right now and tell them Drape sent you. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration, the gift that keeps on giving.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Daniel Tosh, my first farewell tour. Saturday, January 24th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley.
This is how I come up with material. I rant to my friends and my family, my inner circle, and when they hate every word coming out of my mouth, I know it's ready.
Saturday, January 24th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. On sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss your chance to see Daniel Tosh.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We were talking about, if you've been following us all week, we were talking about musical families. So I found some lesser known, this came out I think a year or so ago, but lesser known Jonas Brothers songs to show Kyle they got some bops. Not just the Disney stuff. They got some hitters.
What do you mean? I listen to the Jonas Brothers.
Saying, they got some hitters.
You
okay.
Got Cool, which Taylor Swift ripped off. You got Sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I'm still confused. Who do they owe money to? Like they got new Camp Rock, new Disney Channel Christmas movies.
Hey, well maybe they're not making $550K like the refs. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe they should quit. As musical artists and become the next Mark Davis. Maybe they should do that.
Look, okay, I've had like 3 people reach out to me on the text and the YouTube. I just want to make this point. First of all, we should not normalize a world where $125K a year is not an average salary. It used to be that way in the United States. It's not that way anymore. Second of all, it's not $125,000 to do a basic job. It is the pinnacle of your profession to be an NBA referee. Imagine, Allen, you have made it to your dream job. You are doing national radio at insert big national radio, or I know radio's weird now, so insert big FanDuel or DraftKings network, whatever. You have made it to a national show, and you are only making at the pinnacle of your profession.
I would still do this show, but continue.
Sure. But at the pinnacle of your profession, you are making $125,000 a year. Feel like,
Kyle,
that's an average salary for being very, very good at what you do.
I don't want to get into. Look, Kyle, you're focusing on 125. I'm focusing on 550. We're talking about Mark Davis. He's not making 125.
Well, 550 is what you need to make sure those refs aren't taking a little money on the side.
Well, hey, I'm not touching that one. I'm not getting caught in the weeds here, Kyle. Okay? The bottom line is this. They messed up. It wouldn't have happened against all these other teams, all these other players. And there's got to be a better way to rectify and to fix situations like this besides a stupid 2-minute report that makes nobody feel better. There has to be a way.
Man, that game was so awesome. There was a 99.9% win probability. It was awesome. Can we go to the actual game now?
No.
Instead of Mark Davis.
You're the one who brought it up. You're the one who brought up the median income. What the hell are you talking about,
You just
Kyle?
started yelling about the Jonas Brothers should be referees.
By the way, speaking of, 12 o'clock. We got it at 12, Kyle. 12 o'clock. I got real freaky last night. Well, hold on.
Hey, now.
Hold on.
Well, cutting that.
At the Kimpton, so I had to do it. I got real freaky last night. It was by myself. Well.
Stop. Allen.
A Freaky Friday trade, okay? And I might have lost it, but I got a Freaky Friday trade for you. That's coming up at 12 o'clock. And now Kyle can't stop laughing. But I got a Freaky Friday trade, and now Peg said, hey, yo. I got a Freaky Friday trade. I got freaky last night, and I was alone. I got real freaky last night, and I was alone. I got real freaky last night, okay? 916-339-1140. But we have that for you. But we do need to talk about this Malik Monk stuff as we get into a little bit of the box score, since we can't talk about median incomes and the refs making a half. By the way, just real quick, $500,000. $500,000. How long has Mark Davis? Here's some homework for you, Kyle. Please, Kyle, can you tell us while I'm going through the box score how long Mark Davis has been a referee? Can you do that for us, Kyle? Thank you so much. Precious Achiuwa, 14 minutes. Of course, Schmallen finally says, oh, Precious is starting. It's Precious time. He played 14 minutes and had 2 points.
According to NBA Referee Association, Mark Davis has officiated 1,626 regular season games in 27 seasons as an NBA staffer. He's worked in 218 playoff games and 23 NBA Finals games.
You know what that means, Kyle? You know what that means? That brother's making $1 million a year. He's making $1 million a year.
Yeah.
That's what that means, Kyle.
He's getting bonuses at the end of the year.
He's getting something. Okay? So I'm just saying. If you want to boo.
This is some major pocket watching you're doing right now.
Yeah, it is. When you mess up at your job, right? When Zach LaVine misses shots, we say he's getting paid $47 million. When Mark Davis messes up at his job, we say he's getting paid at least $500,000.
Okay, this is random. So on the NBA Referee Association page, they then list after his description just fun facts about Mark Davis.
That is the last thing I want to hear right now,
favorite TV show, The Wire.
Well, hey, hold on now. What else, Kyle?
Would most like to visit Venice.
Well, keep on repping. You'll get there.
Bucket list, fly a helicopter along the Chicago River.
This is supposed to make us be less upset with them when they do bleep like last night.
I just don't understand why it's here. Why did they ask him this random assortment of questions?
What's his zodiac sign at this point?
I don't know, but his favorite meal is pancakes.
Okay. Thank you, Kyle. That is quite enough. Precious Achiuwa, 14 minutes. 2 points. I don't necessarily, they just went in a different direction. Honestly, I've said this before. It's like the kiss of death when you start. You're not going to play. They do this opener thing, and they've been doing this opener thing. Keegan Murray, 42 minutes. He had 17 points. He took 17 shots. Only 4 threes, though. 1 of 4 from the three-point line. Maxime Raynaud, probably my player of the game. 10 of 20 from the floor. He had 29 points. He had 11 rebounds. He played nearly 37 minutes. DeMar DeRozan played nearly 35 minutes. 10 of 16 from the field. 3 of 4 from three-point land. And 10 of 10 from the free throw line. By the way, Maxime was 8 of 9 from the free throw line. DeMar had 33 points. I think he had 10 in overtime. He had 3 assists and he had 4 rebounds. Russell Westbrook, 10 assists. That dude just racks up assists, man. 20 points. Quiet rebounding night for Russ. He only had 3. Neat Clifford. And by the way, Keegan only had 3 rebounds. That's a weird one for him. Normally, he's been on the glass, especially if I guess he did shoot 17 times, but normally Keegan is good for a couple rebounds there. Neat Clifford played 20 minutes. He had 8 points. Okay. He was 0 of 1 from the three-point line, 3 of 6 from the field, no assists. He had 2 rebounds. Dennis Schroeder played 22 minutes. Yeah, he's back, by the way. He was he was a team worst, minus 12. He had 6 points. He had 6 assists as well. And Yeah, that's pretty much it. 2 rebounds. Keon Ellis played 32 minutes. He was a positive 10 in his time. He had 10 points. He was a plus 7. And he had 6 steals. Keon had 6 steals, 3 assists even. And we know normally Keon doesn't distribute like that. And 4 rebounds. I mean, fairly low bar, but probably Keon's best game, if not top 2, I'd say. Dylan Cardwell sighting. Yeah, he's back. 16 minutes. He had 8 points, and he had 3 block shots. By the way, Keegan Murray had 4 block shots as well as 2 steals. So
Keegan
Kyle hit.
Stocks,
yeah, in his prop talk, they keep hitting. Dylan Cardwell had 1 assist, 7 rebounds to go along with his 8 points. Dougie McBuckets was a DNP. Dario Saric sighting. 10 minutes, he was a -6, no points, 3 fouls, no assists, 1 rebound, and he took 1 shot. Okay, so Dario, some of you may have looked up and said, who is that? But that's Dario Saric. He is on the Sacramento Kings. He was a part of that Jonas Valanciunas trade. And Malik Monk with the bizarre DNP. The Kings were 31% from 3. They only took 19. The Blazers took 45 threes. They only shot it at 33.3%, but they took 45 threes. They made 15. And, yeah, Jeremy Grant, 20 points. He played 40 minutes. Denny played 42. He had 35 points. He only had 5 assists in that time. You had Donovan Clingan, again, real close to his career high, which is 22. He had 19 points. Him and Maxime Raynaud kind of battled it out. Only 8 rebounds for Donovan Clingan. Just a kind of a weird game for some of these guys and their typical numbers that they put up and the typical, avenues, right? You had assist guys not really assisting and rebounding guys not really rebounding because it was just a dogfight. That's what it was. Tumani Kamara, he had 17 points. I'm sure they were happy to see him get it going a little bit. 3 of 8 from three-point line. Jeremy Grant took 10 threes, which is insane. He was 3 of 10 from three-point line. Shaedon Sharpe, who is turning into a Kings killer a little bit, 4 of 6 from the three-point line. He had 26 points. And you had Sidi Sissoko. If you followed us on Sidi Sissoko, I'm sorry. He was a -12 and had 3 points. I'm sorry. There was no Sidi Sissoko revenge game. But, it was you, Kyle, who said, should we take Chris Murray? And Chris Murray set at 5.5 points. He did hit. He had 7. So Chris was 3 of 6 from the field, and he was 0 of 3 from three-point land. Robert Williams played 17 minutes. He had 2 points and 6 rebounds. On the other side, so Doug Christie just didn't play. Malik Monk, what's going on there? Did Doug talk about it? Let's get to Christie's cuts on the other side and figure it out. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Hoblet's Wrap the Year Up sales event?
Get the best kind of gift, the kind that saves you money. Right now, save up to $13,500 off MSRP on the new 2026 heavy-duty Ram 25 and 3500s. And a little extra Christmas treat, no payments for 90 days.
Did you just say $13,500 off MSRP and no payments for 90 days on new 2026 Ram heavy duties?
Yep, 2026 is what I said, with some starting as low as $47,599. Plus, we have the best selection in Northern California, with over 400 new Ram trucks available and hundreds more on the way.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$14,500 total net savings on select new 2026 Ram 2500 Laramie after $3,500 factory rebates and $10,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include $2,000 holiday select inventory, $500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit. $47,599 starting price on Ram 2500 Tradesman. VIN number 190143. 5 is net savings. See dealer for details.
'Twas the night before Fasteners Inc.'s 12 days of Christmas sale. And all through the store, not a DeWalt tool was marked with a deal you could ignore. The bare tools and toolkits were stacked with great care in hopes that our DeWalt markdowns would stop shoppers mid-stare. So dash in today. Don't wait, don't delay. Fasteners Inc.'s 12 days of Christmas sale, live now through Christmas Eve day. Stop by 6701 Power Inn Road for massive savings on DeWalt products now through the 24th. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. The winter months bring joy, but also with more rain and snow, unfortunately, more accidents. Over the last quarter century, thousands of Northern California residents have looked to Ashton & Price to be their Rudolph with a law license to guide them through the storm of an injury claim. As always, we wish you and your family the safest and happiest of holidays, but if you need us, at Ashton & Price, we're here for you. So whether you've been naughty or nice, happiest holidays from Ashton & Price.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
The clock is ticking. This holiday season, give the gift they'll really love. A new Honda from Northern California's best Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Happy Honda days are happening right now. Score big with low payments, top trade-in value, and a huge selection of new Hondas, all at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The NBA is happening Christmas Day. 5 games, 1 unforgettable lineup.
That's what Christmas is all about.
Buckets for breakfast, breakaways for dessert. It's the holiday tradition.
Christmas is our day.
With star power from across the globe.
The stars, they are going to be out.
The best gift, you don't even have to unwrap it.
We want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
NBA Christmas Day begins at noon Eastern on ABC and ESPN.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. Claim your free panel today. Call 916-619-3000 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I think, and I'd have to check the timing on everything, but number one, Malik didn't play, and it's got to be his first DNP coach's decision, I guess, since his time in Sacramento. Maybe early on, but since his time in Sacramento. So basically, Dave, and I'm double checking here, Kyle, but I'm pretty sure, okay, it was after. So Jason Anderson at 8 o'clock at 7:59 says Kings guard Malik Monk has yet to appear in tonight's game against the Blazers with less than 4 minutes to play in the first half. I'm not aware of any injury. Seems like he's a healthy scratch at this point. Then about 20 minutes later, Jason says, according to a source with knowledge of the situation, the Sacramento Kings do not have a trade in the works involving Malik Monk at this time. I'm told this is a coaching decision. Then 2 hours later, Carmichael Dave says, also, Malik going crazy on the sidelines at the end of the game underlines my love for him. I hope his next home is a good one. Now, we know Carmichael Dave will drop information at times, so everybody is kind of perking their ears up saying, well, what do you mean by that? Do you know something? And Dave is, I won't say the king because there are a lot of kings of this. Dave is one of the kings of, I'm saying something, but I'm not saying something. I'm not reporting something, but if I was, this is how I would report it, but I'm not reporting something right now. Or he's just talking, right? You could come across Dave breaking news on his X, and the very next post could be his favorite tuna recipe, right? I mean, you just never know. So a lot of people saw that and thought, oh, does Dave know something? And, of course, Doug got asked about it. So, Kyle, as we lead into Christie's cuts, we can play them both through. We just have a couple for you. And we'll end it, Kyle, with the Malik Monk DNP. Here it is.
Well, you got to say the thing to activate it.
Christie's cuts.
Our guys had an incredible compete level and fought their hearts out. And, yeah, for game. Yeah. You know, I don't know, Jason. Anything that I say, I'm going to get fined up here. So I got a lot to say, so I probably shouldn't say nothing. And I told them this in there, like, our compete level when we come and compete at a high level is we can compete against anybody. We got enough talent in there to win. Now, you also had to plug the smart part in there and make sure that we're doing things the right way. But I tap my hat to those guys, like, that's what a team does, and that type of competitiveness is what our fans love. And you walk away like normally and the team beats you like that and you shake their hand. Tonight I don't necessarily feel that way, but they just kept fighting and they refused to lose. They continued to fight and compete, and that is what our organization will be about. It's what our team will be based upon, and that's what we want. That's what, if you do that, most times you give yourself a chance to win. We were going with defense, but I mean, it's a logjam. We got a lot of guards. So whenever it was Keon being the odd man out, then it was Keon being. Tonight, we were playing Keon, so Malik was the odd man out. We're searching. Like, so far, it has not worked the way that we want it to work. Now, I did say, obviously, we haven't had our full deck, but the point is we're continuing to search, we're continuing to coach, we're continuing to push. We're not stopping anything that we're doing to try to find a way to get ourselves not only wins, but to find that, what's the word we want to use? To find the ability to say, this is the standard of what we're going to do. We're going to keep on going. And tonight also we started pressure, so we started big. Talked to you about Keegan being in his position. He did, they were small, so he did play just obviously 4 smalls out there. But we want to get him at that 3 position as much as possible.
What do you think it looks like going forward in terms of Malik's role and his spot in the rotation? I
mean, nothing is permanent. Obviously, we're going to continue on trying to, make it happen. But, you have Keon play well. We give Keon a run and allow him to continue to develop with those guys. He came in off the bench, I thought, and played fantastic with that bench unit. They did a really good job. In the third quarter, it just kind of got away from us. We got stalled out a little bit, but then came back with the starters, and Keon was a part of that group. I think Precious was the one that was out, and I thought those guys did a great job.
Y'all know how I feel, right? Y'all know how I feel when it comes to Malik and his ability to handle the basketball. He's not a point guard. I get it. I just still think it's overstated that he can't be a point guard. So to me, the issue isn't really Keon. The issue is that, and he played well. I'm not saying he didn't, but when you have Russell Westbrook and Dennis Schroeder combining for 57 minutes, that's the issue, right? And when you just had Dennis, that's one thing. Malik could help out in the point guard duties. If you just had Russell, Malik could help out in the point guard duties and get his time, but you sign both of them. It's not like, to Doug's point, it's not always going to be Malik, but it's always going to be somebody. If Malik is getting, and Keon played great, probably his best game all season. Still only 1 of 6. If the Kings are going to win games, Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis have to hit threes. That's number one. They combined they were 2 of 10 together. That's just, if the Kings are going to win games even after this, right? Or if hey, we want to hang on to Keon and all that jazz, and hey, we want Keegan to do this, you have to hit threes. So those two guys, obviously they do a ton defensively. We get all that. But it's not even about, to me, in my opinion, Keon versus Malik, and that's what it'll turn into, because that's that is what it is for Doug. But to me, yeah, you sign somebody to $15 million a year in Dennis Schroeder, and you sign a guy in Russell Westbrook who plays great and has that level of compete. There's going to be somebody that's the odd man out, and it has been Keon. I did think it was weird that it did feel, and I get it, you take off your, I'd have to see when. I don't want it to be sweats gate or warm-ups gate, but at some point, Malik was essentially told or got the vibe. He just looked real comfortable. I don't know how else to tell you. He just looked like he knew. It looked preconceived. That's what I want to say. I don't care.
Yeah.
It looked like Doug had a game plan and possibly had a conversation with Malik that he would not share with us. And Malik knew, all right, I'm probably not going to get a bunch of run today. Because he just, if you watched him, he just looked like he wasn't, when I'm on the bench, yeah, it happened from time to time. I'm looking at the coach, you know what I mean? I'm looking ready. I got batting gloves on. Hey, I'm ready to go. You need a pinch hit? What you need? Malik was in sweats.
Yeah, Doug wanted to play a bigger lineup like he articulated, and that meant Keegan was going to be the 3. Neek was going to be his backup. I mean, I'm looking at the minutes numbers here. I mean, you've got DeRozan and Neek. If you add up their minutes, it comes out to about 53.
Yeah.
They had Precious Achiuwa and Dario Saric essentially alternate minutes at the beginning of the game, and then eventually they went back to what the normal lineup was. But
and it's weird that Precious started and only played 14. I mean, look, this is not a good team. Doug has said he's trying things, but yeah, it just doesn't. Yeah, they're trying. I'm trying, Jennifer. I'm trying.
They tried it, and then they went back to Keegan at the 4.
Yeah.
Like, they gave it run, and then went back to Keegan at the 4. Because, if Keegan had started at the 4 and you take out Saric, yeah, Malik probably does play yesterday. Yeah. But they wanted to run Keegan at the 3, and then they bailed on it.
I'm not saying tinfoil hat. I'm just saying it looked like maybe, hey, Malik, we're going to go bigger tonight. Don't be surprised if you got to be real comfortable on that bench.
I think the other part, too, is part of going bigger was having Dylan Cardwell available. Because, if Cardwell isn't there, Precious has to play the 5, and if Precious has to play the 5, Keegan has to play the 4.
We knew when we were doing the matchup stuff, we knew that the Jeremy Grant piece was going to throw things for a loop because Shaedon is a bigger guard, Denny is big, Donovan Klingon is obviously big, and Jeremy Grant is a 4 as well. So we knew they were going to try to match it. It's just funny that Malik doesn't get time. Malik can't get a minute. And Precious, who started, only got 14. I think Doug maybe has has some affinity for Dylan Cardwell because of how he plays too. Let's get to the other side. We see the calls. We see you, Dwayne. I don't know. Do we let Dwayne out of timeout? We got Dwayne and we got Raider Ted to kick off the 11 o'clock hour. And you don't want to move because we are breaking down what this does mean for Malik Monk. And is Doug starting to enter a different vibe when it comes to how they're going to disperse these minutes. Could we see more DNP CDs as the trade season is upon us? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heating and Air. They're now upgrading what they do to include plumbing. They're bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. So they're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them all the time as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement. And now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free and give you that second opinion. And right now, they got a free furnace special with a full system installation up to $2,500 in rebates. All for a company that's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Year-end pricing's in effect. Every vehicle's priced to sell before the new year during Happy Honda Days. At Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Get behind the wheel of your new Accord or Civic today. Own or lease during Happy Honda Days at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's holiday food drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today.
What will a Maverick do? 'Cause you are a Maverick too.
Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply. Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert, John Party, Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Tickets start at only $68. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the live music fan in your life. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with the California Office of Traffic Safety and Caltrans, Michelob Ultra, and Bare Bones Workwear. More info at CITPFest.com.
I'm with Vince Bloom, the big deal guy at Folsom Lake Dodge.
Vince! Actually, this time of year, you can call me the Holiday Big Deal Guy.
The Holiday Big Deal Guy!
Because during the wrap-up-the-year sales event at Folsom Lake Dodge, you can save over $18,000 net savings off MSRP on a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4.
I'll take it.
And for a stocking stuffer,
keys to a Jeep,
a new 2025 Jeep Wrangler 4-door Sport S. Right now, I've got one for only $36,995.
That's why they call you the Big Deal Guy! So over $18,000 off a Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
And a Jeep Wrangler Sport for only $36,995. But you'll only find these big holiday deals at one place.
That's right, only one place. At Folsom Lake Dodge! In the Folsom Auto Mall.
But online at FolsomLakeDodge.com.
Ram includes 9873 dealer discount plus 8207 in national stackable and holiday bonus cash. Then SN 667196. Cheap includes 4250 dealer discount plus 12750 in bonus national retail loyalty and holiday cash. Must be current owner of FCA vehicle to qualify for loyalty bonus cash. Then SW 543907. See dealer details, expires 1/2/26.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Not all rooftops are created equal. Revival at the Sawyer isn't just above the city, it's above the rest. Think DJs, live beats, a crowd that's always in the know, and views that make Golden One Center look like it's in your backyard. It's the rooftop Sacramento can't stop talking about. Revival, an experience that's anything but ordinary. Whether it's game night, date night, or just your night, Revival is where memories get made and the city feels alive. One rooftop, endless stories. Book your reservation at revivalsacramento.com.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports 1140.
Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. And, yeah, we got some more information on this Malik Monk DNP and whether or not this is a new process for Doug, a new direction he could be going in. And I'll answer, what do you mean by that? The same way we asked Carmichael Dave, what do you mean by that, when he said, I hope Malik's next home is a good one, or whatever Dave said. 916-339-1140. All right, Dwayne, we're going to let you out because you're our guy and you've been one of our best callers. So, Dwayne, the return of Dwayne of Stockton. What's up, Dwayne? What you got for us?
Happy Friday, fellas. Hey, Kyle, man, I know you got your finger on the button, man. Don't, man. I'm going to be good. I got 3 points, man. The first one is DeMar DeRozan. I got to give it up to my man, bro. Mm-hmm. That was a beautiful ISO, man. That was classic DeRozan, bro. He abused that guy, bro. He abused that guy, so he should have been the game-winning bucket. 2, that referee should be fined, bro. He should be suspended. I just looked at it online at 3 or 4 times. That's awful, bro. I couldn't see a foul anywhere, but the Kings got to should be used to that bias because it happens. There's 5 or 6 egregious calls that always go against the Kings every year. So my third point is it's time to get angry. It's time to get mad. You know what I'm talking about? And don't take it like that. Don't be so forgiving. The Kings need to turn this around, first of all, with their mentality. They got to get tough. They got to get angry, and they got to get that win on Saturday night.
Thanks for the call, Dwayne. Great stuff, man. Happy Friday to you as well. Yeah, I think that reminded – this is going to sound crazy, but I think that kind of reminded the Kings what it's like to compete and what it's like to feel it after a loss. Because you can get used to things, man. And when you've only won 6 times and you've lost 20 at that time, now it's 21, you are more used to losing, much more used to losing than winning. And it becomes kind of a part of the game, right? It becomes almost scheduled, and you don't feel it the same way. The Thunder, they feel every loss. They're trying to beat that 73-9 record. They feel every loss. A lot of these teams, they feel every loss. When you're used to losing, they're not feeling no losses in Charlotte. Maybe Con Kneppel and some of the young guys, they're not feeling no losses in Brooklyn. I know Jordy is. Cam Thomas, I don't know. They're not feeling those losses in Washington because they're just kind of stuck in it right now. They're not feeling those losses in Utah. So you can't let it become, and we talked about this, you can't let it become a part of your nature and a part of your culture. And I think last night is really good for the young guys. Honestly, I'd argue that the loss is good for the young guys, even though I think it would have been good for the vets to just, something to cheer about. But the young guys, I want you to remember how this feels. I want you to not like losing. I want you to not be used to losing. When we talk to fans in Sacramento, well, Allen, the 20 years, that's kind of who they've been. No, bleep that. That is how it's been. But De'Aaron Fox didn't want to be used to that. Domantas Sabonis didn't want to be used to that. Mike Brown didn't want to be used to that. Now, we know how that thing ended, but what did you get out of it? You got one of the most memorable kind of playoff appearances that we've seen in the last couple decades. So you got to feel it. You got to feel it, and I'm in a weird way, glad that the younger guys got to feel it because maybe it could help in the long run. 916-339-1140. Let's get to Raider Ted. Wants to be a part of the conversation, talk about the end of the Kings game. What's up, Raider Ted? Happy Friday. What you got for us?
Hey, fellas. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I know where we are. But that game, what I can't figure out is, isn't there a rule for the last 2 minutes, even if you're out of timeouts and you can't challenge, that they're supposed to look at a play for its validity, not just whether or not the clock had time on it? Because that would have obviously been something where they said, you know what, there was no foul there, I made a mistake. And it doesn't have to come from New York. It could just be them looking at it and saying there was no foul. Now, I know you typically need a challenge to do that, and we were out of timeouts and we were in overtime, but isn't there some rule where they're supposed to look at that?
Yeah, thanks for the call, Raider Ted. Yeah, Kyle, there is right? And now I'm not to get the sports confused, but what the under 2 minute, the 2 minute warning and things like that. But yeah, they are in certain situations they can review stuff. Yeah, with no challenges, it does make things a little stickier. But yeah, there is something to that, Raider Ted.
So I don't think you can do foul calls, referees, because they used to be able to do that and the games would just slow down at the end, and then they changed the rules 2 or 3 seasons ago now. I think they changed the rules, but I think the refs can do out of bounds, whether a shot was a 2 or a 3, time on the clock, and a couple other things. But I don't think they can do fouls overturned or called on the floor without a coach's challenge.
Yeah. So, I mean, and, what's crazy is a lot of times they don't find themselves in those situations because most of the time it's a no call, right? It's one thing when there is a call. It's another thing when there's a no call and you're kind of complaining about it in that way. That's cleaner. So, of course, the Kings found themselves in a more confusing spot because there was a call. And once there is a call, right, with no challenges, it's tougher than, hey, there should have been a call there. That's the typical situation at the end of games. But, of course, the Kings found a way to do it a different way. We'll say it like that. Do it a different way. So, yeah, thanks for the call, Raider Ted, and to Dwayne, of course. When I look at what happened with Malik Monk, I do wonder, and DeMar DeRozan, when it comes to his value, that's something that we've talked about before. I got to say something, and I got to stand on business right now. I don't think there's any way that DeMar DeRozan can do what he did last night and it doesn't help his value. I understand that this is what he does and this is who he is, but to do what he did, there are teams across the league right now that don't have a closer like that. They don't. So as much as we've argued about the playing time, DeMar played 35 minutes, but as much as we've argued or complained about the playing time, that's something that I would say, and I have heard, stuff like that can help. And as the trade season is heating up, this is what we talked about with Domantas Sabonis, who's not playing right now. But DeMar DeRozan doing what he did last night, yeah, we would be silly to say that doesn't help his value or, hey, that's just kind of who he is. Now, there's a difference between what DeMar is doing and what Russell Westbrook is doing. Like this compared to a Russell Westbrook triple-double, two completely different things, right? Impressive both for them to do that, but DeMar, that's more scalable than Russ being Russ, again, in a loss. Great game, but in a loss.
Yeah, because DeRozan is playing well despite having fewer shots than he's had pretty much at any point in his career.
And you know what's funny, Kyle? Not to cut you off, I'll throw it right back to you. He's not on the bench. DeMar isn't. But to your point, he is showing teams that he doesn't need the ball all the time. So he's not sitting on the bench, but he's letting, and you could argue maybe what he said about Keegan was calculated on his part. Maybe there was a little bit of, hey, I want to show teams that I can come in and not feel like I'm the guy. Hey, this is Keegan's team, right? If you bring me to wherever, I know we were talking about the Clippers, and I guess that's Kawhi and they're starting to shop James Harden. But hey, if you bring me to the Hawks, I know it's Jalen Johnson's team and I'm just here when you need me type deal. So even though he's not coming off the bench, he is showing teams I can turn it on when you need me. If you don't need me, I'll kind of just chill.
He's auditioning for what is essentially about to be a super sub role on many of these teams. And again, if you lowered the dollar value, which it's about to beginning next year, DeMar DeRozan's probably pretty valuable as a 5th or 6th option or 5th or 6th best player on a very good team. I know we don't talk about this enough, but DeMar DeRozan is shooting 42% from 3 this year.
It's insane.
Now, he's taking fewer shots than he has since his time in Chicago, but he's shooting 41% from 3 on the shots he's taking.
Now, here's the thing. He's a corner merchant, but I don't mind. I don't care. He's a corner merchant, and Russ is a corner merchant, but I don't care.
You know how you stay in the NBA? Hitting corner threes.
Yeah.
You know how Harrison Barnes is still starting for a 3 seed in the West? Hitting corner threes. Like, that is a hugely valuable skill set because the corner 3 is one of the best shots in the NBA if you can hit it at a high rate, because it's obviously closer to the basket than the three from the top of the key. By the way, just his effective field goal percentage, which is the stat that people use now, kind of like instead of batting average, people use on base percentage. His effective field goal percentage, I'll hit myself with it.
Come on now. You're not going to say effective field goal percentage and not do the nerd drop.
His effective field goal percentage, that's the stat that basketball people use now to measure how good you're shooting. Best of his career so far this year, which means he is having the most efficient shooting season of his career, but he's shooting less than he ever has, obviously, because there's so many people who need the rock.
Yeah, and the pseudo expiring contract with him only being owed $10 million next season. I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps doing this, it'll heat up, right? And we've gone back and forth. I've spent a lot of time on Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis, them raising their value. DeMar DeRozan was more so put into that bucket of we know what DeMar can do, but I think it's different, man. When he's hitting game-winning shots and putting up 33 points and doing it in spots, right? I think that matters more than if he was just shooting a ton and just chucking and the Kings stink and all that. He's being very calculated with what he's doing, and I appreciate it. And I believe other teams appreciate it as well. And from what I can tell, just with some of the texts and the people that I've chatted with just in the last 24 hours, it does matter. I'll tell you that much. It does matter. What's up, Kyle?
You know, on a team where, again, Keegan and Sabonis haven't played at all together this season, not 1 minute, and Zach LaVine is now out with an injury, and Dennis Schroeder's going from hip injuries to ankle injuries. Like, DeMar is out there every game playing 33 minutes a night. Like, DeMar is the most consistent player the Kings have had all year.
Yeah, so I wanted to give DeMar his flowers there and just give you an update on how he's kind of being viewed throughout the league. Obviously, a one-off game is different than doing it every night. But again, you're not really going to ask him to do it every night. And I think showing that he can do it when you need it is a good thing. And a lot of these teams, I brought up the Hawks, and, you know, there's a Freaky Friday trade coming up at 12 o'clock, but bringing up the Hawks and some of these teams that they have a scorer, but they have a couple scores, but they need that closer. That's somebody just go get us a bucket. DeMar leads the league in, I think it's the post-ups, Kyle, what he's been doing. It's not the same as, obviously, the big men post-ups, but DeMar he's just a king of getting to his spots, and he's been that. You know, he's done it for years and years, and here it is, Kyle. Most points per possession on post-ups in the 2025-2026 season. Tied for 9th, Paolo Banchero and Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks, that's so funny to me that he's just scoring now. Number 8.
Most improved player?
Yeah, honestly, though. Honestly.
Like, he's not going to win it.
They won't give it to him, but that's a good shout. Number 8, John Collins. Number 7, Jimmy Butler. Number 6, Russell Westbrook. Number 5, Tobias Harris. Number 4, Sadiq Bey. Number 3, Nikola Jokic. Number 2, Kristaps Porzingis. And number 1, DeMar DeRozan. And who was it in most points per possession on post-ups in each of the NBA regular seasons? It was DeMar DeRozan. He had the most between 2015 and 2025, and that was in 2023 at 1.33. So that's what DeMar DeRozan has been doing, and that's just who he is, man, along with – it's him and a bunch of 7-footers. It's DeMar DeRozan 1, Kristaps 2, Kevin Durant 3, Robin Lopez 4, Aaron Aflalo, he was 5, Kristaps Porzingis again 6, Marvin Williams 7, Jokic tied with Markkanen for 8, Danilo Gallinari 9th, and Joel Embiid 10th. So this is what he does. This is the office. Just call it the office.
Danilo Gallinari is kind of crazy, but I wish DeMar had gotten to play more competitive games for the Kings. And I know they were competing for the play-in last year, but that was competitive. Like, the game against Dallas last year felt like a big deal when he hit the step-through game winner. But I'm saying I wish there had been more of those, because DeMar would have had so many moments like last night, so many games that Kings fans, if they had even just had like one real playoff run, people would have remembered crazy DeMar shots for years and years. It sucks that he's never going to get to play, or it's angling towards he's never going to get to play a playoff game for the Sacramento Kings, because if they had had more of those games, I think people would be talking about, oh man, do you remember this moment and that moment and the other moment from DeMar's career years from now?
Yeah, and he's built for it, man. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but, you know, he wasn't the name that came up yesterday or last night. It was Malik Monk. And Malik Monk,
I'm a pizza guy.
He was a did not play coach's decision. Personally, just from how it looked, it just looked like Malik knew he wasn't going to play. I don't know how to say it. I don't know. I'm not reporting anything, but it just looked like Malik knew he wasn't going to play. That's just the look on his face. He just looked like he knew he wasn't getting up in there, and maybe he wasn't getting up in there because it was a bigger team. And I got real freaky last night. Somebody on the text line said, I just heard on the radio and just heard that Allen was getting freaky by himself. I got real freaky last night, so it was by myself. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, you just started talking about Malik getting up in there. I was just like, come on.
No, I got real freaky last night.
Yes,
it was by myself. Thank you, Kyle. So, yeah, Malik did not play. We can argue whether he looked ready to play or not. Not ready to play, but whether or not Doug may or may not have had a conversation with him. Hey, we're going to go bigger. You might not get out there. We'll see how the game goes. Something like that. Very casual, low key, nothing. Hey, man, you're catching no minutes tonight, so get comfortable on the bench and cheer on your teams. I'm not saying it was anything like that, but as far as the reports are concerned, with Jason Anderson saying I'm not hearing anything, here's the main thing I take away from all this. I mean, is there a world, Kyle, where Jason Anderson, whoever he's talking to, right, where they say, hey, Jason, yeah, we're working on a trade right now, and Malik will probably be off the squad in about 3 hours, right? I mean, there's no world. So I'm not refuting Jason's, because that's the whole thing. Something leaks, right? So Jason, a source versus a leak, and what teams want to get out versus what teams don't want to get out. So I don't know who the source is that Jason Anderson is talking to, but I would imagine if something is not done yet, right, they're not going to, unless it is a leak, they're not going to say, hey, Jason, yeah, he didn't play because we're about to send him to Brooklyn, right? That's not going to happen.
So here's where I would kind of context it. It is easier for Jason to say this is not about a trade than it is to say it is about a trade. Like, if the person comes back to Jason and says, hey, we might be working on something and it might be happening, Jason's not going to immediately tweet out, I hear that there might be something going on. He's going to cross his T's and dot his I's to make sure that what is possibly going to happen is going to happen. Because, like, the one I think of is when the Mason Miller trade was about to go down, Dallas Braden was, like, distraught the night before, and no one knew what he was talking about. Mm-hmm. So clearly he was privy to the information, and if Dallas Braden knows, then I'm sure the people covering the team are able to deduce some of the information, but it's easier to just say, hey, this is not about a trade than it is to say, yes, they are about to potentially trade Malik Monk. So I think if it was about an imminent trade, I'm not sure we would have gotten the immediate clarification from Jason Anderson without having all the T's crossed and I's dotted to make sure that that was what it was about.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm reading too much into the Carmichael Dave thing, but Carmichael Dave saying, I hope, talking about Malik. Also, Malik going crazy on the sidelines at the end of the game underlines my love for him. I hope his next home is a good one. I mean, he's got two more. Including this year and this season, he's got 3 more years left on the deal. So, again, I'm not trying to read too much into it, but that's, of course, what I do. Dave isn't saying that for no reason. That doesn't mean both can be right. Jason is saying, I'm being told there's no trade, there's no trade in the works right now, as of whenever it was, 7:59 or 8:19 when he posted that. That doesn't mean that something didn't start up at 8:30. That's just how it works. That's how people protect themselves.
Jason, by the way, was boots in the ground in Portland.
Yes, he was. He asked a couple questions to Doug Christie. So that's Jason Anderson from the Sacramento Bee, and Dave just basically saying, look, Malik is not finishing his contract here, which I don't know is breaking news to anyone. I do think that there is a group or a large group of fans that would like to say, hey, I want the rebuild, but we can still keep a couple guys throughout the rebuild. And Malik would be on, I think, a lot of fans' list, right? Malik can make it through the rebuild. He comes off the bench, he continues to talk about how much he likes Sacramento. He just had his kiddo. So, he finishes out his 3 years, and then after that, he goes somewhere else, or maybe in that last year when it's expiring, he goes somewhere else. So I think a lot of fans would be good with that. And Dave could also be referring to something like that. He gets to when his contract is expiring, and then he moves. But I didn't read it like that. How about that?
Yeah,
I didn't read it like that.
It's not like a trade is imminent, but we know they've been trying to trade him for 6 months.
Yeah, well, yes. That's, again, not breaking news that when Dave says it's not breaking news when Dave says, I hope his next home is a good one, because he's being shopped. The question was, are we connecting that to the DNP-CD last night? Jason saying no correlation. It was just a coach's decision. And then Doug saying we were just going big. To me, though, I don't know. You can't get him 1 minute. It just felt like it could be coach's decision, but either way, I believe Malik had a conversation with Doug. Hey, you might not get any burn tonight.
You can't give him one of those 10 Dario Saric minutes?
You can't give him. Dylan played 16. I know, different position. Keon did play well, but yeah, Schroeder 22. A team worst -12?
I mean, the one is Dario Saric. I mean, come on. Dario Saric getting 10. Dario Saric played like 4 minutes in the first half.
Yeah.
And then I had the game on mute, but I saw him going into the tunnel after he was yelling about something. I was like, did he just get ejected? Did he get hurt? And I was like, he only played 4 minutes, but then he came back out and played again. But at first I was like, so Saric checked in for his first 4 minutes in like multiple months, and then immediately had to go back to the locker room.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, that's what I'm saying. You could have got him in at some. And here's the other thing, Kyle. They were down 18. So, I mean, at some point, you could have said, hey, we need a spark. But that's why, to me, I feel like it was decided already. Not saying tinfoil hat because of a trade. I'm not saying it's not. But it could have just been, we're going to give you a breather here. And that kind of rounds out everything we're talking about. Could we see this more often? You're not going to see that with DeMar. I think it's funny because if you say, hey, we got to play the vets less, but DeMar ain't going to play less and Westbrook ain't going to play less, where do we go from there?
Yeah. And Levine, when he comes back, is going to play.
Right. He's the one that has played less, and he's getting paid the most money. So I know everyone, does Doug have autonomy? It feels like Doug has autonomy because these aren't necessarily moves that a GM would do. You're going to play the most expensive player, right? You're going to not play some of the vets that are less expensive, like somebody on the cheapest contract on a minimum like Russell Westbrook. But no, these guys are playing 40 minutes, and it seems to me that this is clearly Doug decisions. All right, let's get to the other side. Let's talk about the young gun, Maxime Raynaud. What's the plan here? Could they go double beef patty with Domantas Sabonis as well as Maxime, or will he be coming off the bench? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Take a deep breath and visualize. It's this weekend. You just won up to $100 instant Kohl's Cash just because you were one of the first 100 in-store customers. Plus, you'll save big during the 48-hour holiday savings blitz. Visualize it all happening this weekend at Kohl's.
No purchase necessary while supplies last on 12/20/25 and 12/21/25. One card per household. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Offers end December 21st. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com.
If your car is out of warranty, one major repair bill could wipe you out. Just ask Ludacris.
Car breakdowns can wreck your wallet. Without Endurance, a worn-out timing belt could cost you $1,700. A busted transmission, that's $4,000 easy. An engine meltdown, $7,000. But if you've got Endurance, you could never pay out of pocket for a car repair again. With Endurance, your car's most expensive parts are covered. Plus, you pick the mechanic you trust to do the work. With Endurance, your rate stays the same no matter how many claims you file.
If your car is under 20 years old, Endurance has you covered with unlimited miles. Plus, your plan includes 24/7 roadside assistance anywhere in the country. Choose the name Ludacris trusts, Endurance. Right now, get $300 off any plan, plus a year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. For your free quote, call 800-298-9539. 800-298-9539. 800-298-9539.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Hey, I'm Steffi. You may know me from your social feed. I go big for the holidays, so I'm going to Famous Footwear because the best gifts are giving famous. My friends and family are gonna love all these styles from Nike, Adidas, Crocs, New Balance, Skechers, and more. With over 800 stores, you're never far from the perfect gift. So make your list and make it famous. Come in today for buy one pair, get one half off at your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
Now is the time before winter is full on in your kitchen to make sure your heat or your furnace is ready. How do you do that? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating will get the job done for you like they did for me last winter when our system crashed and burned in the dead of winter. Check them out, leesair.com. Right now, get $100 off any AC heating or plumbing repair. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating does it all, and they've been doing it at a high level for 40 years. See how they can help you stay warm and cozy all winter at leesair.com. That's Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
You ever notice how the other guys scream about massive discounts on their Dodge, Chrysler, or Jeep Ram vehicles? Then you get to the fine print and boom, another $5,200 in mandatory ads. At Hoblet, we don't insult your intelligence. The price you see is the price you pay. No mystery add-ons, no bait and switch, no gotcha when you sit down to buy. Hoblet, family owned for 77 years. Transparency, straightforward pricing. Buy it right. Buy it at Hoblet.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
So because Spotify said that my listening age is 17, I decided in our kind of last shows here before the end of the year, I am featuring songs from my, I guess, 2025 Spotify Wrapped. This one is on, we've already played a couple, but this one is definitely on it.
Oh, this one's a great one.
Yeah, but you were hating on Bieber, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, anytime I see someone dropping 40-song album,
incredible.
I'm like, there's no way it can be good.
That's incredible.
Especially when you're Bieber, you're good, man. We're good.
Oh, we are good. 30 minutes away, by the way, from our Freaky Friday trade. And we've worked the freakiness out a little bit, and we feel good about it, okay? That's coming up in 30 minutes. Then at 1 o'clock, we do have one more chance for you. to get those Janet Jackson tickets at Thunder Valley December 27th. So that's coming up at 1 o'clock, but a very interesting Freaky Friday trade coming at 12 that you definitely don't want to miss. So Kyle and I were talking a little bit during the break about Maxime Raynaud and how his value is a bit more confusing than a first rounder because the contracts are a bit different. There's a little bit less control. There's obviously less money involved. But before we even get to all that, what he's doing is impressive. And the conversation of being an NBA player or someone with an opportunity to play in the NBA, he is an NBA player. I think let's just say that right now. I was excited when the Kings initially drafted him. I spoke with that Western Conference scout at Summer League. He said he should have went in the first round. Then we saw Maxime Raynaud, and it took him a little bit to get his sea legs under him, and I was kind of critical of that. I still think his three-point shooting, I thought it'd be further along, but the dude has battled, the dude has gotten opportunities, and the dude has showed up, right? It's not always pretty, and he's working his way through things, but I think he is someone that has a future in this league, and now it's up to the Kings to figure out how bright that future is going to be. And the main thing here is when Brendan Nunes talked to his coach from Stanford and the idea of Maxime Reno playing the 4, what's ridiculous, and it's not really Doug's fault because you can only do what you can do, but what's a bit ridiculous is how many players the Kings have playing out of position, right? And it's just due to a lack of size and redundancy at the guard position. So we've only seen Maxime Raynaud play center. And like we said, his coach said, I think he's more of a 4. And you're throwing Precious at the 4 because you're trying to get Keegan to the 3, but Keegan a lot of times has to play the 4. So there's just multiple guys that aren't playing the right position, or I guess the position that might be best suited for them. So when Domantas Sabonis comes back, I definitely want to see Maxime Raynaud at the 4 because I think the biggest issue is, and Chris Watkins is always huge on this, is the defending of the 4. It's not the ability to put up a 3, right? Anybody can put up a 3 these days, but on the other side of it, can Maxime guard an Aaron Gordon, right? Can Maxime guard these other 4s? And that's what I want to see, right? Markkanen, that brother don't do nothing on defense, but he's so good offensively, it doesn't matter. I don't necessarily see that in Maxime yet, or just because his coach said he might be better suited for a 4, maybe the Kings think otherwise, and he stays at the 5, and he's kind of a stretch 5. But there's no reason Maxime Raynaud, especially where this league or where this season is right now, I do not want to see Maxime's minutes diminish that much when Domantas Sabonis returns. I want to see him at the 4. If we're going to try out stuff and you're going to sit Malik Monk on the bench and, keep him in his sweats all game, then let's see what this guy can be because, Kyle loves the big man, tall man comparison, and we've talked about Lauri Markkanen with Domantas Sabonis and how the issue would be defense. I want to say this, and I want to say this right now, and I want to make it clear. We got to start thinking about what life looks like after Domantas Sabonis. That's not to say we need to necessarily go all the way there right now, but even if the defense is going to be rough with Domantas Sabonis and Maxime Raynaud, you know what? I'd rather see if Maxime Raynaud can play the 4 and deal with the rough defense because the defense might be rough anyway. I'd rather see what Maxime Raynaud can do at the 4 as well as the 5. That is my priority list. We need to start thinking about what this thing might look like. Because as we talked about earlier this week, they ain't talking about Domantas Sabonis when it comes to future plans. They just don't do it. So I want to see Maxime Raynaud at the 5, which is what we've seen. And he's been doing well. I want to see what he can do at the 4 because that affects how you can move on from Domantas Sabonis and the types of players that you want to bring back. Maybe Maxime can't play the 4 at the NBA level. Maybe not. Okay, cool. So we got to figure out something else. Now, I'm not saying to put all your eggs in the basket of a fringe first rounder who eventually went in the second round, but he is showing you some things right now. So you need to prepare for the future as uncomfortable as that may be to say, because that's just where it is right now.
So this is the interesting thing with Max for me is the offense is looking incredible right now. And I know some people will say, well, these games don't matter. Let me just bring up a crazy stat that Maxime scored 29 points last night. The last time Keegan Murray scored 29 points in a game was January 31st, 2024, which, based on my math, is 123 games ago for Keegan since he scored what Max did yesterday. So,
and this isn't a Keegan. I don't even know how often. I know Domantas Sabonis, I think he did it once this season earlier, but he doesn't do it a lot.
No, he does not. And in fairness, he doesn't have a lot of games where he takes 20 shots versus Max was the leading shot taker throughout the game. But again, we talk all about potential with some of these young guys, and Max is showing it on the offensive end right now. So I don't want to diminish what he's doing on the offensive end of the floor. The defense is still rough. And the thing about moving to the 4 is less about how do you play alongside Sabonis, because we've also talked about Sabonis could use someone with Max's skill set and measurables as another big. But where I'm stuck is, are you going to be able to guard 4s in the league? Yeah. Or is Sabonis going to be able to guard 4s potentially on the perimeter?
That's what I want to see, though. That's what I've been saying. I don't know if he can guard. I know we always say Aaron Gordon. Look, they don't have to play Aaron Gordon every night, right? But Jeremy Grant, guys like that, I don't see it, and that's why it's been Keegan. And here's another piece, Kyle. Donovan Clingan, okay? His average points. And I do think I would say Maxime won that matchup last night. But it's two young guys just going back and forth. By the way, we always have to do it now. He will be 22 in February, but Donovan Clingan is 21 years old. Okay? So do with that what you will. He doesn't shoot threes at all. He's shooting 25%. He just doesn't really shoot them. But Donovan Clingan averages 10 points a game. 10 points a game. In his career, he's at 8.4. But he's at 7.4. 10 points a game, 10.1 points per game. And last night, going up against Maxime Raynaud, the brother dropped 19. You know, he just doesn't normally do stuff like that. So I understand the issue defensively. I'm just trying to make sure that the Kings are giving Maxime playing time, but also giving a focus, right? It reminds me of, and Happy Gilmore too was fine. It was unnecessary, but it was fine. But it reminds me of Happy Gilmore at the beginning of Happy Gilmore when Happy is just wearing baseballs off the face in the batting cage, getting tougher. Yeah, Happy, that technically makes you tougher, but you're not actually accomplishing anything. It's actually quite dumb. Now, I'm not saying that's what the Kings are doing, but my point is there has to be a focus. If you're just letting these dudes run around, there is a level of, hey, they're just running around, getting playing time in the NBA. There is something to that, but let's do something with a purpose. Now I sound like my mother, but let's practice with a purpose. Let's do things with a purpose. And I don't know what the Kings' plan is for Maxime Raynaud. Right now, he's just out there. Maybe it'll come later, and right now they're just letting him get his feet wet and do what he needs to do. So that's kind of part of it. All right, let's keep this conversation going. Maxime Raynaud, who's got more value right now? You know I'm going to go there. I've been hard on this guy this week. Maxime Raynaud or Neek Clifford? It's uncomfortable, but we need to talk about it. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Make the switch to energy that works for you. Over the next few years, your utility bill is going to keep skyrocketing with nobody doing a thing about it. It's up to you to say no more. Continuum delivers solar solutions tailored for your home. They handle everything from design to installation, so you can enjoy lower bills and cleaner energy. Ditch your utility company and take control of your power. Check them out at takebackyourpower.com and have your home's energy powered by Continuum.
Year-end pricing's in effect. Every vehicle's priced to sell before the new year during Happy Honda Days. At Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Get behind the wheel of your new Accord or Civic today. Own or lease during Happy Honda Days at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at HagenOaks.com.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heating and Air. They're now upgrading what they do to include plumbing. They're bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. So they're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them all the time as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement. And now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free and give you that second opinion. And right now, they got a free furnace special with a full system installation up to $2,500 in rebates. All for a company that's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. Claim your free panel today. Call 916-619-3000 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
We are back. This is another one. We Won't Stop. This is actually Toddler Styles. This is hers, man. She loses it anytime this song comes. She loves Gunna. Don't know why.
Okay.
But she loves Gunna. So that made its way onto my top list from me working out and from playing it when we were in the car. She loves it.
By the time she's actually going to be old enough to listen to the full albums, by that point, it's going to be a throwback by then.
Oh, by the way. But yeah, easily. It'll probably be her walkout in softball. You're like, Gunna, really?
That's a throwback. Yeah. Wow.
916-339-1140.
Like the classics, huh?
We are 15 minutes away from our Freaky Friday proposed trade that could change the trajectory of the Sacramento Kings. No, I'm serious this time. And it's mine. And it might be because I heard some things. Maybe, maybe not. You'll have to tune in at 12 o'clock or stay tuned in to find out. Okay, I'm really proud of this one. All right? I'm really, really proud of this one. So going back and forth, and I know I've been really hard on Nick Clifford this week, but every time I look up these young prospects, and they're all younger than Nick Clifford, it just makes me feel a little uncomfortable about drafting a 6'5" guy that is 23, about to be 24 in February. So that's just the reality of the situation. If you're asking me, Kyle, I know it's not the same because of the different values of a first rounder and not, but it's crazy because all of the reports that came out that said Nick Clifford and Keegan Murray are, quote, untouchable, and then Dave debunked the whole untouchable thing. Wouldn't you say that maybe Maxime Raynaud is more untouchable than Nick Clifford just on its face? If you did not know when they were drafted, you just knew they were drafted in 2025, and there were two silhouettes, and you had player A and player B, and you had their size, you had their age, you had their points, you had all their stats, you had two silhouettes. Wouldn't you say that Maxime Raynaud should be much more untouchable than Nick Clifford?
Oh, I'd say without question.
Without question.
And yet, Nick Clifford is the first-round pick who is older, and they have, I guess, more invested in. And Maxime Raynaud is the second-round pick who, just in case anyone's curious, is making $1.2 million this year, which is one of the lowest contracts. I mean, obviously he's a second-round pick, but one of the lowest possible contracts you can sign in the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I get it. Defensively, Maxime needs to get better, but I'm just struggling. I'm just struggling with the Nick Clifford comp, right? And comps are really important. And we've messed around with the Josh Hart thing. We've messed around with a couple different players. And I know he's still a rookie, but again, he's about to be 24 in February. And they got to find a way. He played 19 minutes, 57 seconds last night. He took 6 shots, 0 of 1. You know, even I mean, it sounds crazy, but even Devin Carter, when he gets in there, I mean, he putting him up. He might not make him, but he put him up. But Devin would be in there, and he'd be getting steals. Devin would have, randomly 5-6 rebounds because nobody rebounds on the team when Domas isn't playing besides Keegan Murray and now Maxime Raynaud. So you saw, I guess, a bit of the vision with Devin. It's just, is his offense going to get there? But defensively, Devin Carter is an NBA player, right? He's just not being prioritized. I'm not saying Nick Clifford isn't an NBA player. I'm saying I'm trying to figure out in 5 years, what are we going to be saying Nick Clifford is killing it at? That's I'm trying to see the vision here.
Yeah, it's the prototypical 3-and-D thing. By the way, since you just mentioned Devin Carter, just to sidetrack, do you think that on the bus from Stockton to the team playing in Sacramento, that Dylan Cardwell was hopping on the bus to go to the flight, and he was like, yeah, I'm getting recalled, I'm playing tonight, and then Devin was getting ready to step on the bus, and they were like, whoa, Devin.
That is messed up, man.
Sorry. You're gonna be here tonight, but
if I'm Devin, and now you have me sidebarred. If I'm Devin, I'm so checked out, bro. Get me out of here, bro.
They got him in
food
stock.
Wouldn't even taste good to me. Just get me out of here, dude.
He's got the fully guaranteed NBA contract, but Dylan Cardwell, two-way guy, is the one who's going to play 16 minutes.
Devin is probably, as long as the checks are clearing, bro. Just let me know what package deal I'm a part of. I'm probably so checked out if I'm Devin.
I still can't get over them just letting him chuck it in the G League. They were just like leaving him open from 3.
No, seriously, they were.
Yeah, I just can't get that image out of my head of them just leaving him open from 3.
So, and I know, people, Devin's not good. Today is not the day for that. Okay. We're talking Nick Clifford. And I just don't know. Because the guys that you're talking about, Kyle, the 3-and-D type guys, all of them brothers are 6'8" now. All of them brothers. I mean, here's the thing. You know who's 6'5"? Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I think Nick is a better playmaker than Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Nickeil Alexander-Walker just got paid. But I don't see them as the same type of player. Nick, the problem with this Swiss Army knife stuff is Swiss Army knife can also mean tweener. And that's my fear. Swiss Army knife or tweener.
Well, Alan, remember we did the segment where we brought up what are the comparisons for Nick Clifford? What are the comps? And the ones we mentioned were Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Aaron Nesmith with Indiana. That was the strong comp that we used. There was one more.
And Nickeil Alexander-Walker, does he start on the Hawks? He was coming off the bench for the T-Wolves.
He comes off the bench.
Okay, so I know he got paid. Good for him. But we're talking about a bench player on a Hawks team that's trying to take a leap. That's what, and look, late first rounder, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, it sounds kind of crazy. And I know he was kind of Scott Perry's baby, first rounder, first pick that he's gotten. But it sounds crazy saying that Nick Clifford is untouchable. That's what I'm saying.
Look, if Nick Clifford, remember we talked about the 5 skills that are useful in the NBA. They talked about shooting, staying in front of your man, being able to dribble straight, basically, was one of them. And there were a couple others that we were talking about over the summer. And if Nick Clifford develops the ability to drive and score or drive and kick from the wing, you're looking at, we talked about it, best case scenario, he's like a Christian Brown type of player.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I don't think there's a world where he's going to be a $40 million a year number 2 option on a team like that.
And if I'm not mistaken, Christian Brown, again, later first rounder, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the names I remember mentioned, Aaron Nesmith was like the 14th pick in the draft and got traded at one point. Mm-hmm. I think the other part that's changed too is that the league is starting to move in that direction where 4 years ago, Trey Murphy's going with the 18th pick in the draft, and there was another guy who was a later first rounder who's now blossomed into a star. But now
Jalen Johnson went 20th.
That was the one. Jalen Johnson was going 20, and Trey Murphy was going 18. But then if you look at last year's draft, it's like Colin Murray Boyles is the 9th pick. Asenge is a lottery pick.
Carter Bryant. We're not even going to play you, but just get over here.
Carter Bryant would not have gone in the lottery 4 years ago because now the league is moving towards, if you're going to be a wing, we want you to be Keegan Murray size, not Devin Carter size. But again, the league is correcting that because they're getting drafted earlier and earlier now.
Yeah, and I'm holding out tons of hope for Nick Clifford. I want to see him do more. And 916 is saying, I think Nick needs the ball in his hands more. He's a good playmaker, but we have too many at that position. You're right, 916. You're right. And last night, there was a level of feel-good that we could have had that Mark Davis and his $500,000 took away from us. But at the same time, you're playing Russell Westbrook 35 minutes a night. You're playing Dennis Schroeder 22 minutes. That's over 50 minutes, nearly 60 minutes between the two. So we just have to wait to see, which leads Allen to have a conversation as to whether or not Nick Clifford has more value than Maxime Raynaud, because we're not really getting to see Nick do anything. And the only reason Maxime Raynaud is getting an opportunity is because both the other centers are hurt. And we don't even know if Maxime Raynaud should be a center. On the other side, my Freaky Friday proposed trade. You won't want to miss this. I was grinding film on this guy. And you know how Summer League tape. And we got action with this trade. My proposed trade. Freaky Friday. I spent all night getting freaky. And I did it for you. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports. I got real freaky last night.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game and high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Cal Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Don't you just love this time of year and the holidays when families get together to make memories? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. From the time I was a youngster, the family table was always filled with a gathering of grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters. Those are memories that will live with me forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now gives you the opportunity to find the perfect holiday gift that will last a lifetime. You'll find unique gifts like gleaming accessories for every room, now 20% off. During Naturewood's Holiday Home Sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today.
Cause you are a Maverick too.
Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. It was a couple of years ago that I walked into the Mercedes-Benz of Stockton showroom for the very first time, and let me tell you, I was blown away. Not only did they have the finest cars I've ever seen, the people I encountered, whether it was Jane, whether it was Dante, Jason, you name it, they were all friendly to me. And now is the perfect time for you to head to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton because it's the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. You may say, Drapes, what's the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration? Well, for starters, you can get a car with 3-year prepaid maintenance on select models. And because it's nearing the end of the year, important tax breaks are available right now. Plus, they have low rates on new vehicles and certified pre-owned vehicles. So see for yourself. Head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton right now and tell them Drape sent you. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration, the gift that keeps on giving.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports, 1140. Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Now, this probably would have been on my most listened to, what was that, about 2014, 2015?
I think a little later than that.
Yeah, Lil Dicky.
I was in high school.
Okay.
So probably 2017?
What did I tell you, Kyle? Time and a place. Time and a place. Just like Draper, hey, I thought it was a foul. Don't want to hear that right now. I got real freaky last night. Time and a place. All right?
By the way, this 2017, this song came out.
1 hour away from Janet Jackson tickets. But before we get to that, I've been waiting for this, man. I've been waiting for this. Now, Kyle did help me. We did have to tweak it a little bit, but it's time. Okay? This is my proposed Freaky Friday trade. I got real freaky last night. I was by myself. I got real freaky last night. It was by myself. And here it is, Kyle. The Kings get, all right? The Kings, actually, I'll go with who the Kings are giving away first because everybody is waiting to hear who they'll get. The Kings will be moving off of Zach LaVine and Keon Ellis. The Kings will, in return, get Kristaps Porzingis, Luke Kennard, Asa Newell, and my guy, Vit Krejci. Zach LaVine, thank you for your time. Keon Ellis, thank you for your time. The Hawks are getting another shooter to pair up with, and I know they still have Trae Young, so those are some big contracts, don't get me wrong, but both those contracts, I think, are on the same time frame, and they can figure out what's going on with Trae Young. They can give it a go with Jalen Johnson, one more year at Trae Young. You get Zach LaVine in there to shoot the basketball. Obviously, you got Nickeil Alexander-Walker that we just talked about. They got Risache, so they can really make a run at this thing in an Eastern Conference that's missing, obviously, two top players with Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton. Now, the Kings, you're getting an expiring contract. You might need to give the Hawks a couple second-round picks, honestly, because the value, you're getting Kristaps Porzingis, who is an expiring contract, all right, at $30 million a year.
And you probably don't resign.
You probably don't resign. Luke, you could. I mean, him and Sabonis. We can see it.
I'd say Porzingis probably does not want to.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
unless you're willing to cash him out at 4 years, 120 or something.
You could. Luke Kennard, expiring contract, $11 million. We can see what's going on with Luke Kennard. He's a shooter, right? The Kings do need more three-point shooting.
I mean, I know he used to be a shooter. I haven't checked in on him recently.
You got Vit Krejci, who is a 25-year-old 6'8" point guard who has shown a lot of flashes in Atlanta. It's just, what are you trying to accomplish in Atlanta?
He showed a few.
Yeah, and last but not least, I don't like where you're Kyle, come on now.
I mean, what, Atlanta's just going to throw him away in a deal?
Well, I'm just saying, Atlanta, they got guards and they still have Trae Young, okay? And the most important piece here is my guy, Asa Newell. So this was initially brought to my thought process when we were looking at the Bleacher Report kind of breakdown. And I got real freaky last night, and they brought Asa Newell up. Now, Asa is from the 2025 draft, okay? So he just got drafted, but there might be a timing issue with I know all these teams have all these wings, and it's fine, but he goes 6'9", 6'10", a power forward. He's a lefty out of Georgia, so it is pretty cool. He was born in Atlanta, and he's on the Hawks, but right now he can't get on the floor, and the Hawks might make a decision and say, hey, we just don't really have a spot for you right now. He went 23rd, so it's not like they're giving up a top 10 pick, not even a top 10, top 15 pick. So he went 23rd in the 2025 draft. He has shown some things, but again, he's averaging 5 points, 1.7 rebounds. He's 20 years old. 20 years old, people. And you know what? He just turned 20 in October, okay? He's only playing 9.3 minutes per game. and he's taking 1.5 threes a game. He's at 51%. He's just not really getting a lot of opportunity. The Hawks might say our timeline is a little bit past Trae Young, but it's a little bit ahead of Asa Newell as we try to turn this thing around and get going here. So that's my Freaky Friday trade. The Kings get a young player to take a chance on who's a top 20s pick, right? Not a top 10 pick that the Hawks are giving up on. They get a 25-year-old point guard who has shown some things as, look, I would rather see Vit Krejci back up Dennis Schroeder if they move on from Russell Westbrook. I'd rather see that than, this is my Trey Jones type of deal too. So I've always wanted a younger point guard. You get him in there, you get 2 expiring contracts, you move off of Zach LaVine, and now that I say it out loud, Kyle, you're giving up Keon, who might have a first-round value, as well as Zach LaVine, who isn't a great contract, but only 2 years, so the Hawks can kind of work things out there. And then if the Hawks need a couple second-rounders, I would be willing to do that. I just think that the Kings have to get younger. You're getting expiring contracts. You're getting 2 talents, 25 and under, one who was a teenager in October. Who says no?
Yeah, I mean, the Kings, you would essentially be using Keon to flip it into a first-round pick from last year. I mean, Asa Newell was the 23rd pick in last year's draft. So this is what Chris Watkins was talking about yesterday with maximizing value and Keon's value being, hey, we can't get a first-round pick, but we could flip him for the 23rd pick in last year's draft as some team tries to make an upgrade or something like that.
Yeah. So I'm looking here because Charlie on the chat is saying, who is Zach LaVine playing over? I
was literally about to ask that same question.
Mm-hmm.
So in this world, the Hawks would then have Trae Young, Zach LaVine, Dyson Daniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Keon Ellis, and Reece Shea.
So right now, they got Reece Shea, they got Jalen Johnson. Yeah, and Trae Young is just now came back. They got Onyeka Okongwu, and they got Dyson Daniels and Trae Young. Those are their starters.
Because I think the answer, if you're going to do this for the Hawks, because I do think the Hawks get better in some way. I mean, their defense with Trae Young and Zach LaVine. Dyson Daniels is going to be making up a lot for that defense.
I guess you'd have to move
Dyson
to the 3.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the answer is Reece Shea goes to the bench.
Yes.
I think that's the answer that you're looking for, which...
I mean, right now, like last night, he played 20 minutes. So Reece Shea is not logging a ton of minutes anyway. Vit Krejci played 23. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who does come off the bench again, NBA politics, he played 34 minutes even though he came off the bench.
Yeah, that's why this trade is more freaky than a normal deal.
I got real freaky last night.
Because in most of these, because I've seen Zach LaVine connected to the Hawks, but I've seen it in situations where they are getting rid of Trae Young.
Right. And that is another option, but we're kind of off the Trae Young thing. Everyone told me, Allen, get off the Trae Young thing, so I'm starting to get off the Trae Young thing.
Trae Young and Sabonis would just be, what's the meme from the Will Ferrell movie where him and who's guy with Matthew McConaughey in those commercials? What is it? Woody Harrelson. Where where Woody Harrelson and Will Ferrell are just passing the ball back and forth to each other. That's just the Trae Young Sabonis offense. It's just pass, and they just pass back and forth until the shot clock runs out.
No, I hear you. It's not perfect, but yeah, I think, and you can throw, no disrespect whatsoever, you could throw Devin Carter into this trade for the Hawks because they're very defense-focused right now. The Hawks get Keon Ellis. I mean, you're locking down, man. On the other side, you're getting Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Keon Ellis to kind of lock down the defense.
And Dyson.
And Dyson. I mean, that's a clamp squad right there.
But then you also have Trae Young and Zach LaVine.
Life is about balance. It gives the Hawks a lot of optionality. And yeah, Trae Young is making $45.9 million each year over the next 2 years, but it is only 2 years. So you say, hey, we're giving up some guys that we just don't know where we're going to find a time for Asa Newell, and Veet has been nice, but, it kind of is what it is. I guess if Keon was more of a playmaker, you could say, hey, at least one, or Zach LaVine, you could say one of those guys can kind of be a pseudo point guard, but neither of them, that's really their bag. The only reason I think the Hawks say no to this is if they are, just wanting to keep Risache on schedule, right? Keep Risache on schedule and make sure that he's getting that playing time, because it could affect the playing time.
Or potentially you're not tripping about Risache because he's not going to be anything more than your third best player.
Yeah. Really, it's what their value is. I mean, you look at the Western Conference right now, and obviously where the Kings are, and you look at the Eastern Conference right now. The Hawks.
Jesus, Nickeil Alexander-Walker's averaging 20 points a game for the Hawks. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Right now, the Hawks are the 9th seed. Okay, so again, they're doing the same thing that they've been doing, just kind of chilling in the play-in. They're about to get. I guess they're not going to do this deal now because they got to figure out, hey, what are we with Trae Young? But I do think it's a situation where if they were to go on a run, all right, let's make another move here. Move off some pieces, move some things around, and go from there. Maybe Asa Newell, if they like him more than I'm assuming they like him, maybe that's the issue, and they just say, yeah, we're just not going to give up a 20-year-old 6'10" three-point shooter that can stretch the floor and is going to continue to grow because he turned 20 in October. Maybe they like him more than I think, but they got to make some decisions here. Just in general.
Yeah, I'm looking at this here. They're treating Risache right now like he's like early Timberwolves Jaden McDaniels. Like he's no bigger than the fourth option at any point on this Hawks team, which in fairness, they don't have Trae Young, so maybe Trae Young coming back opens the flow a bit, but yeah, I mean they won the lottery in the year you didn't want to win the lottery. That seems to kind of be their problem.
I mean, really their holdup is Dyson Daniels just isn't a point guard, right? He's a heck of a guard, but I do think that we'll do this thing in a couple months here where we try to figure out what Dyson Daniels is going, what the Hawks are going to be, because if he continues right now, Kyle, 28 games, he's at 11.7 points per game. Kyle, guess what Dyson Daniels is shooting from three. Please guess right now, Kyle.
I'm going to say like 35%.
You're not even halfway.
You're kidding.
15%.
15?
Yeah, he takes 1.6 threes a game. He's at 15%. I mean, I get it. Amen Thompson is, they're kind of similar guys, but Amen Thompson, yeah, I mean, Dyson does go 6'7". Amen is around the same size, but offensively, Amen Thompson, even if he's not a straight-up shooter,
jeez.
Please guess Amen Thompson's three-point percentage.
Well, it can't be worse than Dyson Daniels, so I'm going to go with like 26%.
18%.
What?
Are you guys, how old are you? How does this happen?
Did you grow up just not liking basketball?
How does that happen?
How did you guys just didn't like shooting?
What were you doing when everyone else was doing shooting drills?
I do think for the Thompson twin, that could be a case of the other brother really liked shooting, and so the other Thompson twin was always guarding him on defense. With Dyson Daniels, I don't know, man. Maybe it's different in Australia, but
yeah,
there's just nothing. Maybe, I don't know. Dyson Daniels being 15% is crazy.
Well, it's just interesting how people come into the league because he is at 5.7 assists, Dyson Daniels. So he is at 5.7 assists. That's not bad. He just isn't really viewed as a point guard. And the reality is point guard or shooting guard, if you can't shoot, at 6'7", you might have to go to the position of a three.
Here, where I'm also figuring this out is like, again, and this maybe is an indictment of the modern NBA and how offenses are run now, but I feel like Jalen Johnson is going to be a primary ball handler at some point with this team.
No, I would agree with you. This is kind of a short spurt where you don't owe Trae Young or Zach LaVine anything. I guess the biggest thing is why would we give up our young talent? But my point is it's a wide open Eastern Conference. You got the Raptors as the 3 seed. You just got Trae Young back. Do you want to waste this season? And then all of a sudden you get Jason Tatum back and Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know that adding Zach LaVine makes them better than the Knicks, but I think it gives them a better chance. I'm just saying, using the Knicks as an Eastern Conference example, but it gives them a better chance.
Yeah, like if Nickeil Alexander-Walker is your wing shooter, like the spray and shoot guy on this team, which, by the way, he's taking 15 shots per game right now. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is. Like, Zach LaVine is inherently a better player than Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but Nickeil Alexander-Walker makes a third of what Zach LaVine makes.
But I'm saying you could have both.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're the Hawks, is the juice worth the squeeze of we're going to give up all of our young talent and add Keon Ellis, no doubt. But
not giving up all their young talent.
I mean, Krejci.
Now you're in. Wait, hold on. Now you're in on Krejci?
I'm not saying Krejci is bad. I'm saying Krejci is probably a backup point guard.
But now that's young talent, Kyle.
How old is he? He's 25, you said?
Yeah.
On the Kings, that's young talent.
Well, that's a rookie.
On the Kings, literally. Nick Clifford is going to be 25 in about 12 months. My point, though, is like, yeah, if you're the Hawks, it just limits your ability to pivot. I think they gotta figure out this Trae Young thing, just like the Grizzlies got to figure out this Ja Morant thing, and the Cavs got to figure out this Darius Garland thing. They got to figure out if they're better with Trae Young or Jalen Johnson being the point. And honestly, I think Jalen Johnson's not a bad Trae Young replacement in the modern NBA. Like, obviously, I don't think Jalen Johnson is going to be an MVP candidate like Trae Young was 4 years ago, but it's not a bad replacement for the contract you have.
Kyle, I just got to tell you this, and we can run the tankathon, because I've seen this guy pop up before, but I almost got, man. You got to be careful in these streets, because this has nearly 1 million views, a fake account.
The Darren Peterson
Yeah,
thing.
man. Almost got, but I didn't. So basically, everybody knows how X is these days, and I don't know what Elon is doing with some accounts come up as parody, some don't. But this guy who looks like a real human, he says credential men's college basketball reporter, but it is a parody. He just doesn't say parody anywhere. He said Darren Peterson is shutting it down and will not appear in another game for the Jayhawks. And it went, like I said, 1 million views, but it's fake. It's completely fake. And I almost got, but I've seen this dude before.
We want to run the tankathon now real quick, because let me tell you, as every day passes, I am more and more in the camp of I need Darren Peterson.
Why? He hasn't even played.
Yeah, but I need a point guard, Allen. That's what I'm saying. I need a point guard.
Don't worry, they'll start calling him a combo guard in a couple months.
No, I look. Boozer, they're saying Boozer can't guard.
He can't score.
He can't score against good defenders.
DeBanza can't shoot.
Yeah, it sounds like Boozer would be perfect on the Thunder, which we can say because the Thunder literally will have a top 3 pick if the lottery went down today. But
yeah,
it seems to me like it's got to be Darren Peterson. That of the 3, I'm leaning towards. I'm sure DeBanza is going to be excellent. I'm sure Boozer's going to be excellent, but I need me some Darren Peterson.
You're taking the 6'4" guy, huh?
I'm 6'6", and he can potentially score at all 3 levels, which is essentially all you need from a primary ball handler now. If they can pass, great, but as long as you can score from all 3 levels, you can be a point guard in the NBA.
I can't believe you're foul. It just scares me. It all scares me. But Kyle, I've just been having terrible luck here. The Kings dropped to the 6.
Yep, there you go.
So that's. And then I ran it again. They jumped up to 2.
Okay. But, we can do that. By the way, I'm going to be gone next week, so we can run as many as you want.
There you go. All right. I needed that. I needed something to pick up there. But yeah, man. I mean, when it comes to some of these teams that might be interested, Kyle, the way you could rework it, when I was coming up with this Freaky Friday trade last night, I got real freaky last night. I was trying to figure out if there is a world where the Hawks would maybe, and we've talked about this a while ago, after DeMar DeRozan kind of did his thing, is there a world where DeMar is more their speed and they can say, hey, this is just a kind of a quick hitter. DeMar will get to the playoffs. He will get to play, at least in the play-in, but we'll have a shot at the playoffs. If it was DeMar, and I'm just doing Keon just for the value, and, you do get Asa Newell, and then besides that, you got to make the money work. So, it's just tough. It's just, it's not as clean. I mean, you could do Luke Kennard, but you need another $10 million. Another $10 million. That's a problem.
Here's kind of my problem with the Kings being the direct trade, is that if I'm asking myself, what do the Hawks need? If I assume Jalen is going to be kind of their future primary ball handler, you've got Dyson Daniels, you've got Reece Sachet, you've got Alexander Walker. They kind of need a big. And I know Porzingis is kind of a stopgap option right now, but if I'm the Hawks, I'm trying to get... I'm trading for the same types of players the Kings are trying to trade for. I'm looking at Tari Easons.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Sabonis.
Sabonis is an interesting one. I mean, I don't know... Again, are you moving Trae Young is the question, all right?
You'd have to.
We've talked about the Trae Young Sabonis thing before, but...
Time to give the keys to Maxime Raynaud.
The Kings? I would not do that, but if you can get me something very nice, I will consider it. But anyways, I kind of look at them and I'm like, I understand why they are looking at the Anthony Davises. I understand why they're looking at potentially a Sabonis or a... Giannis. I know Rich Paul was like, I think Giannis would be great on the Hawks. And I was like, that's crazy that you're just allowed to say that on a podcast. But I just don't. I think the Hawks should be big man hunting more than they should be hunting for a Zach LaVine.
Oh, hold on now. But you started this. You could tell me I'm crazy.
This is the Sabonis?
Yes. You could tell me I'm crazy. That's fine. Domantas Sabonis and Keon Ellis for Trae Young and Asa Newell. Who says no?
So if you're the Kings, you're going to run Trae Young, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan, and Maxime?
Yeah, and honestly, it'd be more you're getting a big you're just getting a value big. It's probably not going to be Maxime the whole season. You go get a decent big, the Rockets got 12 of them. You go get a decent big somewhere else, but you're more so saying, we're going to go the Trae Young direction. We're getting a young talent, and you can make a decision on Trae. Maybe you let him walk, right? And I know that would mean that you maybe lost Domantas for nothing, but you are getting off that contract, and you're not losing him for nothing because you're getting Asa Newell. I don't necessarily know. Value-wise, I don't know who says no. Fit-wise, both sides might say no.
Yeah.
But value-wise, I think this is a very fair value trade.
I think this, again, I wouldn't do it if I'm Sacramento because I would just keep Domantas Sabonis instead of going that route. Unless, I'll caveat that. Unless Trae Young was willing to sign a contract extension sight unseen in Sacramento.
I think he easily would.
Okay, but assuming he would, it's more palatable because then you have multiple years. Mm-hmm. Regardless, I think this is probably more of a summer trade than it is a right now trade because I got to know, if I'm the Hawks, I got to know what I'm working with in the big man market. And if I'm the Kings, I got to know what I'm getting with my lottery pick, how the DeRozan situation is going to resolve. Because I don't want to bring in Trae Young and Zach LaVine and have that be the backcourt for a year. Like, that's not helping anyone's chances of getting to be good in a timely fashion. So, yeah, I would say in the summer, I might be more willing to consider it once I know who I'm getting with my draft picks and how these other situations have resolved.
When we return, there are multiple teams interested in Keon, but which ones are on your do not trade to list, and which one is the worst? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Born in 1892 to a socially prominent family, she was the consummate athlete, proficient in golf, tennis, marksmanship, swimming, and car racing. Many considered her the greatest horsewoman of the century. She was a pioneer in the field of golf course development with 3 world-class courses on her resume. the Women's National Golf and Tennis Club, Cypress Point, and Pasatiempo. Working for SFB Morse of Pebble Beach fame led to her second golf course development, which many consider to be the greatest golf course in the world, Cypress Point, where she developed a lifelong friendship and professional relationship with famed architect Alistair McKenzie. Pasatiempo in Santa Cruz was her third development, where she hosted the likes of Bobby Jones, Will Rogers, Babe Saharias, and more. Today, her place is alongside many others in the World Golf Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Marion Hollins, a visionary golf course architect and pioneer of the game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Smarter clean in half the time. Brought to you by Swiffer Power Mop. Tired of the mop and bucket struggle? The Swiffer Power Mop gives you a mop and bucket clean without all the extra work. It's an all-in-one cleaning tool that mops smarter, not harder. With built-in solution that breaks down dirt and grime, and a pad with over 300 scrubbing strips to absorb and lock sticky messes. It even gets into places a regular mop can't, and leaves your home smelling fresh for hours. Try the Swiffer Power Mop today. Love it or your money back.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Now is the time before winter is full on in your kitchen to make sure your heat or your furnace is ready. How do you do that? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating will get the job done for you like they did for me last winter when our system crashed and burned in the dead of winter. Check them out, leesair.com. Right now, get $100 off any AC heating or plumbing repair. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating does it all, and they've been doing it at a high level for 40 years. See how they can help you stay warm and cozy all winter at leesair.com. That's Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Hoblet's Wrap the Year Up sales event?
This time of year is all about hauling the family around, and there's no better way to do it than in a brand new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's one of America's favorite SUVs for a reason, and right now you can save up to $10,500 off MSRP and no payments for 90 days. That means no payments until March of next year.
Oh yeah, that's the one with all that extra space. Even more important this time of year.
They really are a treat to drive, and everyone I know who's driven a Jeep Grand Cherokee has loved it. Don't miss your chance to get one and save at Hoblet.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$10,500 total net savings on select new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Limited after $5,000 factory rebates and $5,500 dealer discount. Rebates include $2,000 SFS bonus cash. Must finance through Stellantis. $500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders. 3 this net savings. Sample VIN 746799. See dealer for details.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. We are an hour and a half away from your last chance at Janet Jackson tickets. Literally, okay? Unless they give us more. But pretty sure today is your last chance, Janet Jackson tickets. And then tomorrow, $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion. Santa Cruz. I didn't even bring it up to Frankie when he was in here for Roundtable. Santa Cruz house house in North Lake Tahoe and South Lake Tahoe. Now I'm getting 2 more. One next to Frankie's cabin, then one in South Lake so I can enjoy myself. One in Miami, one in Panama. I think that's it. That's all. Oh, yeah, Folsom and El Dorado Hills.
Yeah. So
those are all my houses that I will have. And don't worry, Kyle, I'll get you something.
I'm not sure I'll ever hear from you again if you win the lottery.
I'll get you something, Kyle. Don't worry. I take care of my people. I'll take care of my people.
I did send that segment we had to Pat and Cody, and they did enjoy it. But Pat said if he wins the lottery, he will figure out exactly what Cody's 1-year salary is and gift that to me.
There you go.
So that's my compromise.
There you go.
I don't have an invested stake in the lottery, but I'll get a nice chunk of change from Pat if he wins.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. Here's just a quick one, okay? Fair or foul, rich people playing the lottery. A couple years ago, it was at $1 billion, and I remember seeing DJ Khaled all over social media with however many thousand lottery tickets, okay? Fair or foul, can you police now DJ Khaled? Hey, self-made. I don't necessarily look. He produced.
He made it.
He made it. I don't know what type of stimulus package is. I'm pretty sure self-made enough. And now he's a millionaire. Fair or foul, millionaires buying a bunch of lottery tickets. Anyone can do what they want, but is it kind of really? Do you like if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander bought a lottery ticket, wouldn't you just kind of say, don't you have enough? And maybe not Shai. How about LeBron? LeBron buys a lottery ticket or Tiger. Really?
Okay, how about you're framing it like this? If your net worth is greater than the actual lottery winnings, like what are you doing?
If Elon bought a lottery ticket, I'd be ticked. If Elon bought a lottery ticket, I'd say, that's just greedy.
You've already taken enough.
That's just greedy. You should not be allowed. Like at holiday parties where CEOs can't win raffles and things like that, or they don't get the same gifts as the worker bees.
By the way, for those listening, Allen was schmoozing during that holiday party.
Yeah,
he was reading out names for gifts. He was.
Somehow Allen got the microphone. We don't know how Allen got the microphone.
Oh, should I tell them about the TV situation?
We're going to hold on the TV. I'll tell them closer to Christmas. But
okay.
There was a gift. I may be repurposing the gift, but I don't know who to. And if it is to my significant other, I need to know whether it's a bad look or not. But it is a gift that she would like.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I've seen the gift. Are you sure?
I would get her other stuff too. But when you get older, you're not opening gifts like that, and it's an opportunity to open a box. You get to open a box.
I think it's fair game.
I think so too. Because I'll get her other stuff.
Yeah, it's not a not nice gift.
Yes.
It is just you were trying to play it like you were going to win a TV.
It doesn't matter how I acquired the gift.
No, I'm talking about you picked the wrapped box that looked the most like a TV.
But I thought it could have been a tablet or something like that. So
I was hoping so bad it was a Bluetooth speaker.
We'll have, and this time they were really nice Bluetooth speakers. Bobby got a Beats one.
As opposed to the other Bluetooth speakers we've gotten?
Well, I'm just saying, there's different levels. Beats, that's a nice one.
Yeah, but you framed it like these were actually nice.
No, but Bobby won it. They
gave us Bluetooth speakers a couple years ago.
Not Beats.
No. But you're saying Beats was a little nicer.
That's why they won it. 916-339-1140. All right, so Keon's name is being thrown around everywhere, and I need to know this, and I need to know this right now. What would be worse, right? Because I think the two places you'd say don't go, and this would be for Keon, this would be for Malik Monk. Is it worse if you see Keon or Malik? Worse if you see them in a Warriors jersey or a Lakers jersey? Which one is worse? Because I'm pretty sure it's got to be Warriors, right? It's got to be the Warriors.
I think this is a generational thing. We've talked about it before. Some people it's going to be Warriors. Some people it's going to be Lakers. Like, in my mind, I don't have any Kings-Lakers rivalry connotation. It's just 2002 and 2001, or no, 2000. 2001 and 2002 are kind of the Lakers-Kings rivalry years, but as we've established before, I was a little baby child at that point. So Warriors means more to, I think, my generation of Kings fans versus other generations. It's always going to be the Lakers. Henry Turner talks about it's always square up on site with the Lakers type of situation.
Yeah, I think the thing about the Lakers is that I put it in the same category as Eagles-Cowboys, where, yes, that's a rivalry, but also everybody hates the Cowboys. So it's a little bit different. If Jake LaRavia was cooking on the Warriors, I think it would burn more than him doing his thing on the Lakers, because the Lakers have the money, you know what I mean? And the Lakers have the brand. The Lakers, once Steph is done, we know the Warriors, the Pods Kuminga Warriors, I don't know what that looks like. But the Lakers, like, they might actually need the help, the Warriors. The Lakers, they're always going to get guys. So I almost feel like the Warriors is worse because that's more specific. Everybody hates you either love the Lakers or hate the Lakers. Everybody hates the Lakers, but the Lakers are always able to acquire talent. So it's not as annoying as if Malik goes and cooks on the Warriors. I think that would be worse. Or if Keon is 3-and-D'ing and doing his thing for the Warriors, and he's defending. I got real freaky last night. He's defending. It is a Freaky Friday. He's defending whoever Steph is needing help on or wherever. I think that would burn way more than the Lakers, because the Lakers, they're always going to get guys because they're the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, again,
I'm saying even generational, because the Lakers are the Lakers.
You kind of mentioned it. It's different circumstances, but I don't see a lot of Kings fans that are upset about the Jake LaRavia thing. Like, when Jake LaRavia is cooking on the Lakers, people aren't like, oh, this is brutal. Our worst nightmares come true.
Yeah, and obviously he was only on the team for a couple months, but even when it happened, yeah, we saw a little bit of course, he went to the Lakers, but I think it would be worse if he went to the Warriors, for sure.
I also think it might be harder if you give him to them, right? Like, the people understood, hey, the Kings legally weren't allowed to pay him more than his fourth-year option, so he just got priced out. Like, I think people kind of understood that more than, like, what do you mean you're giving Keon Ellis to the Lakers or giving Keon Ellis to the Warriors type of situation? Like, you're voluntarily doing this.
Yeah, so there are multiple teams, and obviously just go to the Eastern Conference. Is there any Eastern Conference team that really bugs you? I mean, I thought it would be hilarious if he ended up on the Knicks and back in the doghouse with Mike Brown. But, yeah, the Eastern Conference kind of piece. There is one. Actually, Kyle, this is the obvious one, and there's also interest, we talk about with Jarris Walker. If he goes to the Pacers and he's helping Tyrese Halliburton, isn't that just a little annoying?
Are Kings fans still on the Tyrese? I know Christopher Law doesn't like Tyrese, but it seemed like a lot of people were kind of rooting for Tyrese in the finals last year.
Rooting for him, but also annoyed. Yeah. I don't think it's I think there is some pure, we just want to see Tyrese succeed, but I think there's also a little bit of, all right, it's enough, right? Because he's a character, right?
I think when they first clinched the Eastern Conference Championship, I think that day you saw a lot of people who were like, here go the Kings again. First it was Luka, first it was Lillard, then it was Luka. Now it's Tyrese Halliburton, blah, blah, blah. But then I think, if I remember it right, as the series kind of went on, people were like, yeah, good for the Pacers. I hope they beat the Thunder and they get a champ, and Tyrese gets a championship.
Right. Once you understand it ain't going away, then hey, might as well you get a ring better than somebody that we have no connection to. It's the same thing as when you lose to a team. Some people want that team to lose immediately. Some people want that team to win because it might make them feel like if it weren't for them, maybe they would have won or more connected to that winner because you battled with them. So there are a couple of different ways to look at it. We know what the league is right now. Threes, be able to shoot, be able to defend, all of that. What is the next phase, though? And could we be heading into the next phase? And how do the Kings get ahead of it with the players that they choose to acquire? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heating and Air. They're now upgrading what they do to include plumbing. They're bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. So they're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them all the time as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement. And now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free and give you that second opinion. And right now, they got a free furnace special with a full system installation up to $2,500 in rebates. All for a company that's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sactown sports fans, the countdown to the best live events starts now. The Roots are taking over Hard Rock Live Sacramento on December 27th. Get ready for legendary beats and the kind of energy only the Roots can bring. And we're just getting started. Then mark your calendars. Comedy takes the stage at Thunder Valley Casino Resort with Cedric the Entertainer on January 16th, followed by the sharp, fearless, absolutely unfiltered Daniel Tosh on January 24th. 2 comedy heavyweights, 1 powerhouse venue. Country fans, suit up. Brad Paisley rolls into Thunder Valley on January 30th, bringing all his hits, swagger, and all the good vibes. Then on January 31st, the breakout star everyone's talking about, Ernest, hits Ace of Spades for one night only. You know this show's gonna sell out. And don't forget R&B royalty Jodeci hits Hard Rock Live Sacramento on February 15th. The smooth, soul, and classics, all live. Grab your tickets now before they're gone and keep up and tune in to Sactown Sports for more epic shows coming your way.
The holidays can be a time of increased stress for those struggling with opioid or stimulant addiction. They can also be a time for pause, reflection, opportunity, and new beginnings. This holiday season, choose treatment and recovery, embrace the company of family and friends, and create special moments. Find a proven opioid or stimulant addiction treatment provider near you at choosechangeca.org.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. It was a couple of years ago that I walked into the Mercedes-Benz of Stockton showroom for the very first time, and let me tell you, I was blown away. Not only did they have the finest cars I've ever seen, the people I encountered, whether it was Jane, whether it was Dante, Jason, you name it, they were all friendly to me. And now is the perfect time for you to head to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton because it's the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. You may say, Drapes, what's the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration? Well, for starters, you can get a car with 3-year prepaid maintenance on select models. And because it's nearing the end of the year, important tax breaks are available right now. Plus, they have low rates on new vehicles and certified pre-owned vehicles. So see for yourself. Head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton right now and tell them Drape sent you. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration, the gift that keeps on giving.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you
like free money? Download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
It's just a little too late, a little too wrong, and I can't wait.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
To be real, it doesn't matter anyway. You know it's just a little too my sunshine, but it came the rain. I drowned on your patience. Now it's not the same.
Taking you up to 2 p.m., 15 minutes away from your chance to see Janet Jackson. I gotta clean up in my backpack, I still got the Tony Hinchcliffe paper in there. Okay, but today...
You still got Stockton 99 Speedway from the summer.
I still have the secret, what was this one?
The Kimpton Sawyer.
This was the Revival and the Kimpton Sawyer.
That was over a month ago.
I still have my tires that got fixed. I left that here.
What?
From Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep. I still have the receipt from that, and it got stuck in the rest of my papers, and Dave found it over here, and he said, hey, why is your receipt from Chrysler Dodge Jeep? Shout them out.
By the way, I see people calling in right now. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Yet. I'm just cleaning out my backpack right now. Okay? Oh, as we hit the new year, we'll talk about this again, but yeah, there's traditions that you do for Christmas, of course. But the New Year, Kyle, did you ever hear this one? I don't know. It could be generational because you kids, you don't even use cash. But did you ever hear the one where you can't go into? This is a big one that my mom tells me. I don't know. I'm sure other people do it too. But you cannot go into the new year with no cash in your wallet. Like, obviously, there's money on your cards, but you can't go into the new year with no cash in your wallet. You have to have it could be $1.
So is this a tradition or a superstition?
I guess it's a tradition superstition.
Okay.
It's a super tradition.
Of what?
Where it's bad luck if the new year finds you with no paper in your pocket.
All right, let me see what I got working here.
I don't got nothing now, but I'm going to go take some cash out.
I guess I have no cash, but good for me. I always keep a $2 bill in my wallet.
Hey, you get it.
I, by the way, used all my cash at the barber shop. You want to guess how much I paid for a nice little cut?
30.
A little higher.
40.
It was 35, but with the tip, 50. Walked out the door with a little 50.
Wow, you're spending a little bit more cash now.
That's the thing, Alan. I felt like my only regret was I couldn't tip more because, again, you're paying for the time. You're not paying for the service. It's that the barber can't do anything else. They have to singularly focus on you.
I hear you. I haven't got cut in a while. I've been doing the Allen cuts ever since baby number 2. Well, my barber moved. So he is it Citrus Heights now? He was down the street from the studio, but he moved. So I'm still going to go to him. I'm not necessarily not going to go to him, but I got to figure some things out. And, it's just a process, man. I don't like change. I really don't.
That could just be a universal
That's
sentence.
just me in general. Don't get my sister started on that one. 916-339-1140. Kyle, let's hear from, he's just known as Ball is Life, this guy. He's been around for a very long time, and he's created a really big platform to talk basketball, and he has a very specific type of basketball that he liked. You want to know the type of basketball that he liked? He enjoys, or at the beginning of the season, he was closer to the side of thinking the Kings could make some noise than not, because he's a bag work guy. He likes the bag work. He likes to see just
I don't need you to have the bag work.
The purest form of basketball and skill. And he has some things to say about where the game is going and how that purity of the game is actually going away. It's pretty fascinating. Here it is.
A lot of folks aren't able to actually identify the real problem. It's been something I've been speaking on for the last 5+ years. The analytics geeks came in and totally shifted how the sport is played. We're watching a new brand of basketball that's never been played in any era of basketball before this. And everything is geared towards the 3-ball. I love the 3-ball. I love today's players, love the talent in the league. It's at an all-time high. Players have never been this skilled and athletic at once. But the way this data and all these, copycat GMs have set up the league now, it's drive, kick, shoot a 3, 5 out, space the floor. You end up with 7'4" Wemby being a perimeter player. It's the game has lost its purity. The game has lost its variety. You had different offenses every night on display, when fans tuned in. It's lost that grit and that intensity, These analytics, what you realize is because they never played basketball, you took the game away from its, real essence. And that was the grit and the grind, the intensity, possession to possession, defensive players were enabled. It was physical. There was a mid-range game. There was a low-post game. There was so many tactical things that a Tony Parker and a Steve Nash did to weave through that tight structure defenses. That's all gone now. It's just very dumbed down, open gym style, drive, kick, shoot a 3. And a lot of these young players are so good, I don't even get to see these guys full bag because it's a marketplace. They have to do what gets them paid.
Man, ball is life. I know that there are some people listening to that right now saying, thank you. I'm so tired of all the threes. Well, it's funny because Kings fans don't complain about all the threes now because the Kings don't even take a lot of threes. Right, but I remember with Mike Brown and Kevin Huerter and Harrison Barnes and the crew, we'd be having conversations on this here show, and people would say, enough with all the threes. And I know that, again, talking about generations, and I was making fun of Kyle because, he doesn't have cash in his pocket because they don't need cash. But talking about generations, I know there are a lot of older basketball fans that feel what this guy is saying. And Kyle, you're taking a stray because he says all these nerds came in and changed the game. And I wonder, I look at it like the 3 true outcomes in baseball, right? And how 3 true outcomes: walks, strikeouts, and home runs, okay? Now, baseball is starting to regress or move back to bat on the ball, stealing bases, singles aren't bad, and they've made rules. They put rules in place. You can only pick over so many times to help that, right? I don't know how this style of basketball changes, because as long as 3 is worth more than 2, why would someone settle for mid-ranges? Even though I do think the mid-range thing is a smidge, I don't know about overblown, but KD takes a bunch of mid-ranges. Shea takes a bunch of mid-ranges. Some of the best scorers still take mid-ranges. But, yeah, the rest of you is what Draymond's been saying. You get a big, you get a star, and a bunch of dudes that are just waiting to shoot threes.
You get a guy who can score at all 3 levels, and then everyone else waiting to shoot. That's what I just said with Jalen Johnson before. It's an indictment of the modern NBA that Jalen Johnson has to be a point guard.
Yeah, and Carter Bryant has no bag, but they don't care because you're big, athletic, and we'll teach you to shoot a 3.
Yes, and you kind of hit on the point without even saying it of my counter to this guy, which is baseball did it right in the sense that everything was getting less aesthetically pleasing, dumbed down. The analytics people had figured out, these giant shifts and these, big home run hitters and everything else. And you know what they did? They changed the rules and they changed the dimensions.
So where are you going with this?
The NBA, there's no perfect answer. One, make the court bigger. That's the easiest one. Now, I know people always say, well, these courts aren't constructed to be bigger. Make the courts bigger. That allows you to be able to push back the three-point line. Inherently, the three-point ball will become less valuable because the further back you push it, the less people are going to make it, and that will solve some of your problems. You can add other rule changes here and there. Like they've done some of this. They got rid of the take fouls. They got rid of the stuff like that. But make big rule changes, and you will start to see the analytics have to correct themselves. Because the numbers will do what the numbers say is that the nerds will do what the numbers say is best. If you change it enough to make it more valuable intrinsically, the nerds will change.
I mean, do you move back the 3-point line? And
I would move back the 3-point line after making the court bigger. You can't just move back the 3-point line now, but if you make the court bigger, it becomes easier to move it back.
Because that's what happened, right? A bunch of guys, I mean, you know, the Ozzie Albies of the world, guys that are my size, have terrible batting averages and aren't stealing bases because they're trying to hit home runs. And then when they stopped, I'm not giving a shot to Ozzie Albies, I actually really like him. And then when they stopped hitting home runs, right, baseball said, in general, hey, we got to rear this back because this is ridiculous. Now, a lot of baseball nerds still don't love batting average, but even still, OPS makes more sense than just dropping in the launch angle. And I just can't stand the exit. They're still doing the exit velo thing, which is so annoying to me because I'm just too old school. But again, if you're not successful, then things will change. If a bunch of dudes start bricking in the NBA, then things will change. But as of right now, dudes aren't going to start bricking because unless you're Dyson Daniels or Amen Thompson, you understand where we're at and you're shooting a basketball somewhere.
Yeah, but again, the numbers won't lie. And even though baseball's made all the changes, remember how Game 7 of the World Series ended? The Dodgers hit a bunch of solo homers, and Toronto kept trying to hit doubles, and the Dodgers ended up winning.
Yes, but the Dodgers also, the Dodgers don't count because the Dodgers have done things other ways. They will get on base too. So the Dodgers have too much talent. And I get what you're saying, but the Dodgers have won in so many different ways. So normally when you get to playoff baseball, that's the only time I saw Jock Peterson try to hit a single. The only time in his whole career. Okay, and I hit with Jock Peterson before, by the way. He went to Palo Alto High, and we had a mutual teammate.
Pick up that name you just dropped.
I'm just saying. I hit with his daddy and him in his backyard. Look, his dad played in AAA forever. Had a batting cage in the backyard. Brother got drafted. Sister played soccer, I think at UCLA or USC, and Jock is Jock. So you want your kid to go to the league. I know, and it's Palo Alto too. You get that batting cage in the backyard, and I got to hit back there. And you want to hear the last thing, Kyle? I'll say, last thing, I promise. I hit with Jock Peterson. Right after that, we all had a try. Not him because he was about to go to USC, but he didn't end up going because he got drafted. Right after that, we had a tryout. His dad told me about 2 or 3 different things, right? And I'm thinking this was right after my junior college. I'm the man. You know what I mean? Right after that, I go to hit BP. First time, I did 1 or 2 things he told me to do. First time I hit a home run with a wood bat from 10 minutes with his father. 10 minutes! Get that batting. When I win the Billy, the batting cage is going in the backyard. I'm going to have 2 of them, Kyle. On the other side, Janet Jackson tickets. And we hear from Giannis. I mean, I know it's a thing on this show and me being annoyed with Giannis, but it's getting bad, man. 916-339-1140, your chance to win Janet Jackson tickets. Don't move! Alan Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockworth, Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. This week on Wall Street, major market indexes wrestled with investor sentiment as the year winds down. After hitting recent highs earlier in the month, stocks pulled back modestly as traders weighed a mixed economic backdrop and evolving sector trends. Market gauges saw modest declines, reflecting profit-taking and rotation out of high-growth areas, while broader benchmarks held nearer to recent peaks. Economic data released midweek showed job creation beating expectations, yet the unemployment rate crept higher, underscoring ongoing labor market adjustments that are in focus for policymakers and investors alike. The Federal Reserve's recent interest rate cuts and communications about future policy continue to shape expectations for 2026, contributing to volatility and investor debate over potential price trends in stocks and other assets. As we head into the final trading days of December, many analysts are watching for potential seasonal patterns to emerge. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment to watch videos and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Mosaic Wealth. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
The clock is ticking. This holiday season, give the gift they'll really love. A new Honda from Northern California's best Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Happy Honda days are happening right now. Score big with low payments, top trade-in value, and a huge selection of new Hondas, all at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and Timber Creek Golf Course want to let you know is your official holiday golf headquarters. Right now, they've got an unreal deal going. Buy two, get one free. These are 12 packs of Srixon golf balls. Srixon has been turning heads all year. I've been using these balls, and yeah, for the record, my pseudo hole-in-one back in September came off a Srixon tee shot, and people aren't letting me forget it, that's for sure. Listen, these balls will not make you a scratch golfer, but for somebody like me, it makes the ball go more in the direction I want it to go in, and that means quite a bit. So whether you're shopping for the golfer in your life or, let's be honest, you're buying for yourself, hey, stock up now. When you're at Timber Creek, grab a gift certificate for lessons to dial in your game for next season. Whether you're fixing a slice or adding distance, improvement doesn't stop for winter. You got your holiday shopping solved. Srixon, buy two, get one free at Timber Creek Golf Course. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's holiday food drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today. Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland, and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind Total Game Fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total Game Fitting starts here.
At Sierra Pacific, your home's comfort comes first. Need fast heating or plumbing you can trust? Our skilled, friendly technicians are ready when you need them. Save 10% on heating or plumbing repairs this holiday season. Get a heating system tune-up for just $79. Call today or visit SierraPacificHome.com. Legendary service and craftsmanship since 1984.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air, the guys in the big red trucks.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. And we are about to give away these Janet Jackson tickets. I think it's your turn, Kyle, to pick the lucky number. We did want to play some of this Giannis sound right now. And I'm just, oh my goodness. I want this to be over, man. I want this to be over. All right, Kyle, let's play the 2 pieces of audio that we have. The first one is Giannis, I guess, talking about how it's not me talking, it's my agents, and hey, it kind of is what it is. Let's hear it.
My agent is talking to the Bucks about it. He's his own person. He can have any conversation he wants about it. That's at the end of the day, I don't work for my agent works for me. And there's going to be a conversation that's going to be made between him and the Bucks, and him and his other players, and him and other teams and other GMs, executives around the league. It's something that you can't control. But at the end of the day, I personally have not had the conversation with the Bucks.
What is he saying? What is he saying?
He hasn't talked to the Bucks.
You want to leave. It's okay. You want to leave. And here's the other one.
This is the most I've been ever talked about in my career. I'm like in my house with my kids and all that, and I'm opening the TV and like, oh, Giannis is going to the Memphis Grizzlies. Giannis is going to the Detroit Pistons. Which, hey, man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm the hottest chick in the game right now, man. I'm joking.
I just can't with him, man. I can't. And maybe I need to just lighten up a bit. I just want him to just say what it is. The Anthony Davis, no, I didn't love the That's All Folks shirt. I didn't love that either. But kind of just this, we know the deal. Like, we know the deal. It's over. Because I just don't necessarily know. When he talks, he's not actually saying anything. I think that's what's frustrating me. He's not even refuting it.
Yeah.
He's just not saying anything.
And every time it's a different thing. Like, remember when he was on with one of the streamers and they were like, so you going to stay in Milwaukee? And he was like, yeah, I think so. We'll see. I think so.
I like New York. New York likes me.
Yeah, which honestly, now that the Shams report comes out, it does make a lot more sense why he was like, yeah, I think so. Because he was like, unless the Knicks are going to up their offer, I think so.
Yeah. All right. We know what everybody is waiting for. Win a pair of tickets to see Janet Jackson at the venue at Thunder Valley on Saturday, December 27th. We're looking for lucky caller number
3.
Caller number 3 at 916-339-1140 to win a pair of tickets to see the legendary musician Janet Jackson performing at the venue at Thunder Valley on Saturday, December 27th. That's caller number 3 at 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. So we had a conversation, all right, prior to the break, and it was about the Ball is Life creator. He created a really big platform, and I just know him as Ball is Life. And he had a whole kind of spiel that he went on about how the game is played right now, the NBA. And a lot of people are chiming in on this and want to be a part of the conversation because it is something that we've talked about before, how the NBA is a little redundant. Okay, so I got some of these texts that I want to read. Great clip. This is from the 916. Great clip. The NBA bleeping sucks. That's from the 916. Another 916 from our guy Folsom Mike. I love that assessment. I've always been an NBA guy, but the game is so boring. It's almost unwatchable. It's really not fun watching a 3 go up every 13 seconds. So I've been watching more college than ever. It's just more enjoyable. So I hear where you're coming from, Folsom Mike. My only question would be, how is college more enjoyable? Because college has its own issues because there's just less skill. And college, the argument used to be that you don't get to see these kids do as much as they're doing because they're stuck in systems, right? Now, if you have a supreme talent, then that system is the supreme talent. But you also don't see as much personality in college because they have their offenses that they run. Now, maybe you just think, hey, well, I don't mind watching West Virginia's offense take on Clemson's offense. At least it's two different situations going on here, and it's not all the same cookie cutter league and everyone doing the same thing. So I think I do feel you on that one, Folsom Mike. But college can be a rough watch too. College can be a very, very rough watch too. Yeah, I don't know what the NBA does. I know a lot of people, the extreme version of this was the Celtics, right? The Celtics, it was insane. And you did have a star, 2 stars, but you did have a star in Jason Tatum kind of doing his thing. But everybody else, yeah, it's just you're waiting. Derek White is waiting at the wing to shoot a 3. Porzingis is waiting at the top of the key to shoot a 3. Then you got 2 guys in the respective corners waiting to shoot a 3. Everybody is just waiting to shoot a 3. and I understand how it kind of doesn't feel great and is not as entertaining as it once was, especially when you're watching bad versions of that, right? Like going back to baseball, the 3 true outcomes, if you're watching a team that hits the most home runs in the league, well, you don't have a problem with the 3 true outcomes and seeing walks and strikeouts because you're seeing a bunch of home runs. If you're watching a team that has the most strikeouts in the league and their home runs are not close to that as far as the ratio is concerned, yeah, that's not fun to watch. That's just bad baseball. And there's some basketball out there, and there's some teams out there trying to do the thing because everybody has to now do the thing, and it's just bad basketball, right? You're passing up layups, but none of you shoot the 3-point ball better than 35%. What are we doing here, right? What are we doing? So the Kings, to me, are an interesting case study because they don't really shoot the 3, and they don't really shoot the 3 well, right? So the Kings, I guess they are an example of when you are trying to kind of buck the system and go in a different direction. I don't know what a better version of it would be that could be more successful. But then the question is, well, why? Right? And if you're a player, if everyone around the league, right, if I'm a bench or if I'm a role player, do you think there's a coincidence or there's no coincidence as to why Precious Achiuwa is making sure he's taking at least 1 3 a game? I know he only played 14 minutes, so he didn't get one last night. But he is making it, if he plays decent minutes, he's getting up a 3. Do you think that's a coincidence? No, that's not a coincidence. He's doing that because he knows that's what other teams want to see him do. And when you're looking at the minor leagues and trying to make your way up, what's the one thing they're asking everybody about, right? What's your exit velo at? What's your launch angle? Does this guy get the ball in the air enough? Which sounds like blasphemy to somebody like me, right? When you're watching Major League Willie Mays Hayes, now I know he was the leadoff hitter, but you want me to hit the ball in the air more? I thought we were supposed to hit the ball on the ground. But now we're hitting the ball in the air more? Okay. You want me to drop my shoulder? Are you sure? That goes against everything that I was taught the first 10 years of my career, right? In basketball, you want me to pass up this layup to shoot a 3? Really? It's a fast break. No, just take the 3 because we'll probably get the rebound, and then we can either take another 3 or we can, at that point, take the layup. No, just take the 3, even though it's a fast break. Are you sure? I got a dunk right here. No, take the 3. That's what we do now because we need more points. So I can understand why there are a lot of fans annoyed watching that. Again, especially when your team is bad at it. Right? Passing up on a layup and then somebody clanks a 3, you want to pull your hair out. It's ridiculous. So I don't know if it's about the league reverting back to what it was in the 90s and even early 2000s as a full league, but maybe there is a world where other teams or where teams aren't doing the same thing, when every single team isn't doing exactly the same thing. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's part of it. So, that is kind of the breakdown. I just saw this. I just came across this, and Kyle is, as I always joke, still on the phone. And it's not breaking news, but it is interesting. All right. And it's not. He's still listening. What's interesting is this actually, the article is really about the Lakers, as we were just talking about this. And this article came out this morning from Dan Woik. All right. And it really was about the Lakers and can they find a defensive help? But it kind of has turned into a Keon Ellis conversation. So I will start it from here. Sacramento's Keon Ellis, another player coveted by teams looking for on-ball defensive help, could certainly be traded by the deadline as he enters free agency this summer. League sources believe the current price tag on Ellis is a protected first-round pick. And here's a quote from a league source. "He's maybe the most divisive player in the league," one source said, pointing to the near universal approval Ellis has from rival scouts and the lack of on-court opportunities with the second straight coaching staff. While the shooting part of the equation is there with Ellis, the defensive impact is where the gamble exists. Some people think of Ellis as a defender more suited for creating turnovers than he is at actually slowing down opponents. Others who aren't as high on him have concerns about his size and ability to defend bigger guards. Still, he seems like the kind of player the Lakers will consider this trade season, though they won't be alone in their pursuit. Wow. Okay, so this is what happens sometimes when something isn't breaking news, but it comes out after the show starts. This came out about 30 minutes after the show started, and I guess took a while to get aggregated. It got aggregated at about an hour ago. Okay, about an hour ago. So let me start here as I'm reacting to this all right now. Let me start here. Keon Ellis and how the Kings view him, to me, this comes off like the Kings saying to Keon, hey, we do want to keep you, because I don't know if they're going to get a first-round pick for Keon. This is what Sam Amick mentioned. This is what we've talked about before. So this is a world where the Kings are saying, Keon, we have a really high price tag on you. And I think, Kyle, Mark Stein had said the Kings do not want to include Keon as a sweetener. So they are essentially turning the tide now. And how many minutes did Keon play last night? 32. The Kings are turning the tide now. And this is what we've seen, and this is what we hoped for when Whitey and I sat there and had our holiday special show. Once this trade season gets going, could this whole thing be salvageable? And Kyle, I think that they are trying to head in that direction.
Allen, guess what starts today as well that our friend Michael Scotto had mentioned?
The G League
Winter Showcase.
That's right.
That kicks off today, where all the executives and all the teams are going to be gathered down in Orlando for the weekend, watching G League games. This is where Michael Scotto said the unofficial start of trade season happens, because everyone's together, everyone's figuring out value, everyone's figuring out where everyone else is at. So maybe, just maybe, there is some greater truth to what you're talking about there, even though, none of us know exactly what they're attempting to accomplish here. But this is encouraging, because that's the exact path I would take with Keon Ellis.
That's what we've been talking about.
Yeah, just a standalone deal to get a first-round pick that you potentially have a 50-50 shot of them being something in the league. And if they are, you got 7 years of team control potentially on that guy. That is exactly the type of trade they should hope to get if they're going to, quote-unquote, maximize Keon Ellis's value.
Well, something else that I think will come out in a different way is that when it comes to the Jarris Walker conversation, if we were to use the Pacers, for example, I think that's part of it too, Kyle. They would want a first-round pick, but I believe, this is just my opinion, I believe they would also take, that doesn't only mean a pick. That could mean a young player. That could mean Asa Newell, right? That could mean Jarris Walker. That could mean somebody that was taken within the last 2 years that went in the first round and isn't getting any playing time on the current team that they're on.
Yeah, that's part of it, although I understand why a first-round pick in terms of the control might be more appealing, but the flip side is you might not get a top-end first-round pick potentially in any deal like that. So it's a interesting line to play, because while so many teams can trade for Keon Ellis, not everyone has a first-round pick right now. And so every team has what they have. And if you're Indiana, it's Jarris Walker. If you're the Lakers, it's the 27 pick. If you're the Timberwolves, it's your first-round pick this year. And, everyone's got their own thing to be able to, or it's Rob Dillingham again. Everyone's got their own thing that they're willing to part with, and the Kings should again hope to get younger and clear up a logjam if they're going to make a trade.
Yeah. So that came across my feed, and the Mark Stein thing about whether or not the Kings want to use him as a sweetener. Yeah, I mean, if it's between, I just never understood it. I never understood what the rush is to get off of these contracts when you don't necessarily have a short-term plan in place. If you don't have a short-term plan in place, then you might as well see if you can salvage things. And the thing is, if you move off of one of these guys, right, to give yourself more of an opportunity for Keon, that can't happen if Keon is included in the deal. If you use Keon in a deal for Zach LaVine, hey, well, we fixed the logjam for Keon. Oh, wait. Oh, we had to move Keon in that deal. So, and the two main names that we've said have been Sabonis and Zach LaVine, and Sabonis is not part of the logjam. And LaVine, to me, Bobby Marks already looks at him as an expiring contract as we get later into the season here. So, yeah, that is how I would call it. That's what we called it, Kyle, kind of early on as far as what his value should be and how they should go about it. So we have Dan Woik from The Athletic, who covers the Lakers, now saying this is what he's hearing as the Lakers are in pursuit. But I do want to also highlight when I got called a hater talking about how Keon does have some issues guarding certain players. And that's something, Kyle, that we stood on business and we talked about it here on this show when it wasn't very popular, but it's just the reality. And now we're hearing that, funny enough, Keon's offense is not the question, probably because nobody is thinking Keon is going to be a second, even third option. But defensively, they don't know where to put him, because even though Basketball Reference has him as 6'6", Keon is like 6'3", 6'4", maybe. So when we look at, and he's kind of slender. So when we look at the Dyson Daniels and the Tamani Kamaras and these kind of taller, thick, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a good comp, but I think he's a little longer than Keon. You look at these different comps out there and you say, I like Keon, but is he worth a protected first-round pick? That's what other teams are weighing right now.
Yeah, that's the weird market that you're in, because it's not like someone's going to come in and be like, well, actually, we think Keon's worth 2 first-round picks. The market is incredibly thin margins, but it's all based on how many teams are actually interested in Keon Ellis, the player, and Keon Ellis, the contract, right? Because those are two different things. The Lakers make a lot of sense because the Lakers are going to have a ton of cap space this summer. Now, part of that is Austin Reeves. They're going to have to give him a nice pay raise, but they got like $100 million of expiring contracts between LeBron, Reeves, Maxi Kleber, Jared Vanderbilt. They're going to have a bunch of money to re-sign Keon Ellis after it's done. But a team like Minnesota, for example, they probably won't be able to re-sign Keon Ellis without moving another player. So they may not offer as much, but are they like, hey, it's now or never for a championship window? There's different situations, different teams. Indiana's looking at it like, well, there's no point in getting him for this year, so we're trying to compete years down the road and give him an extension. So different teams, different situations, which creates super unique value.
We are going to hit the other side, but do not move. There is a new report out regarding the Kings' price tag on Keon Ellis. And what does that mean as far as how much the Kings actually want to keep Keon Ellis? Maybe this is a node to Keon to say, hey, we want to keep you. And if somebody meets this price tag, cool, but we also don't know that someone's going to meet that price tag. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center, heading into unsettled weather as we get into the weekend. Your Friday forecast includes showers on and off again this afternoon and into the evening. Looks like we'll see a little lull in the activity first thing Saturday morning, with more rain ahead Saturday night into Sunday. You can get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Winning 1K is easy. Just turn the key for a G. Take a test drive at any dealership at the Roseville Auto Mall to be entered to win. The Roseville Auto Mall is giving away $1,000 every day through December 19th. Turn the key, take the drive, and win a G. Only at the Roseville Auto Mall.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
So you need last-minute gifts. No judgment. Get an extra 25% off during Kohl's Friends and Family Sale and find great gifts under $20. Like something cozy, something thoughtful, something that says you planned this all along. Yep, you're just one quick trip away from checking off the last gifts on your list. Save now at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer ends December 24th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heating and Air. They're now upgrading what they do to include plumbing. They're bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. So they're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them all the time as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement. And now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free and give you that second opinion. And right now, they got a free furnace special with a full system installation up to $2,500 in rebates. All for a company that's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
$30 more minutes with you. Kyle, you didn't. Oh, yeah, because of Janet Jackson, you didn't play that one.
Yep. Last time this year, Alan.
Wow.
Our last Friday I'm in Love of 2025.
Oh, man.
Is that what year this is? Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Oh, man. I'm so upset about that.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're not here next week. Well, I'm not here next week, but you're here Monday and Tuesday.
I'm here, man. You can always find me here. You know, I live here.
Apparently, with your Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram still here.
I got a question. Okay, those of you that got cars like this, and we're about to get back into the Keon stuff, but this is very important. Those of you that have the cars that have the whatever amount of miles until E, okay, when do you feel uncomfortable? Because this whole 50 miles thing, or whatever the miles are, they're lying, right? Because you'll be driving, and I'll see the miles fry off, but I didn't drive a mile. So right now, I'm kind of a OCD when it comes to my gas, right? So I got about 50 miles left till empty. And my wife wants me to pick up food from a very old school burger joint that a lot of people like, where you can get fries that have the style that's called Animal, okay? Now, I got 50 miles, and it's...
Rhymes with stop and go.
That's right. I got 50 miles, and it's on... It's in Natomas. I know that line's going to be long, and I know it's not 50 miles away, but there's only 2 notches there, and I don't feel comfortable driving to stop and go, even though I know that the line is just going to get worse the longer I wait, but I don't want to sit there because it's going to fry, because then you're not even moving, and the miles fry, and I don't want to get stranded at In-N-Out. But I know, but it says 50 miles, and it's not 50 miles away.
Okay, why can't you just put gas in the car?
Because then I got to put the gas in, then I got to drive back to Stop and Go to get my Animal Style.
There's not a gas station on the way?
And I got to put it in my map. It's just, I like going to my same gas station. I get points. It's just a lot, man.
Okay.
So when do you feel comfortable?
I mean, I'm sitting at like a quarter of a tank right now, but also I didn't want to refill it because I'm leaving for a week. So I
can't, and I don't like being this low. It makes me uncomfortable.
No, I understand. It's my grandma always says, put at least, once it gets below a half, you fill it back up. She's Shaq with the gas math. Once it gets below a half, you got to fill it back up.
That's what I'm saying. All right, let me know. When do you feel comfortable? I know why a lot of you are hopping in now. It's because there is the Mark Stein report came out a couple days ago, but this one from Dan Woik of The Athletic just came out about an hour or about a couple hours ago, and he's saying how the Kings are looking for a protected first-round pick for Keon Ellis. Now, what Mark Stein said a couple days ago is that the Kings don't really want to include Keon as a sweetener, which I think is huge, because what I believe the Kings are telling Keon through these reports that are coming out is that just hold on. Just hold on. The vets are almost gone, right? That's what he's saying. That's what Scott Perry is saying to Keon. Just hold on. The vets are almost gone.
But then again, you might be one of those vets.
But we're not. But that's what I believe, that they know they're not going to get a first-round pick, but they're telling everyone they want a first-round pick, and that's their way of telling Keon, we actually want you to stay. We want to see where this thing could go. Or they get a first-round pick, and they say, sorry, Keon, I mean, you're an undrafted guy. We got an opportunity for a first-round pick. So I think it's a real offer, but I think the Kings have said this is best case scenario, and we don't necessarily have to do a deal. I think what this also tells me, Kyle, is that the Kings still feel confident that they could sign an extension with Keon. If they didn't feel confident, I don't think they would be setting the bar like that because they wouldn't want to lose Keon for nothing. So maybe I'm reading too much into all this, but those are my initial thoughts.
That may be true, but when it comes to the extension, the money's going to talk on that because, like we mentioned, you can debate fractions of thousands of dollars or whatever, a few $100,000, but for the most part, Keon's probably going to sign with the team that offers him the most money. So unless you feel good about your chances in the open market with a lot of teams not having cap space, or potentially a sign and trade in the summer could also happen, right? Like a team wants Keon, but they have to clear some cap space to make it happen, so the Kings get a young player in return or something. Like, unless you feel good about this is the Kyle Lowry case from a few years ago where Toronto said, we will not trade Kyle Lowry, even though they knew he was going to leave in free agency. And then they did the sign and trade with Miami, and they got, I think, Precious Achiuwa in that deal. So, again, unless you feel good about the fact that his value will still be there in the summer, or you're going to re-sign him in the end, I don't see why I don't see why it can't hurt them to keep him past the deadline, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And you're saying even if they don't agree on an extension?
Even if if I were Keon's agent, I would take it to June no matter what. But if you're the Kings, you let it go past February and say, we'll take it to the summer and figure it out. Like, there's still options to get value back in return in the summer.
Yeah, and if you're just now joining us, this is just the first time I've kind of heard what we've talked about and what we've maybe seen, but we don't say it because, I say it, but a lot of people don't say it because Keon's a really good story and things like that, but there are some holes, and this is from Dan Woik, and one league source has called Keon the most divisive player in the league. He says he's maybe the most divisive player in the league. And he pointed to the near universal approval Ellis has from rival scouts and the lack of on-court opportunities with the second straight coaching staff. While the shooting part of the equation is there with Ellis, the defensive impact is where the gamble exists. Isn't he supposed to be the defender? Some people think of Ellis as a defender more suited for creating turnovers than he is at actually slowing down opponents. Now, that's also fascinating because a lot of these smaller guards, right, their whole thing is they'll lead the league in steals, right? I believe Allen Iverson did at one time. Obviously, De'Aaron Fox did, but De'Aaron is a good defender. Steph Curry, I think, was up there, right? Chris Paul. Guys that are smaller and maybe not known as lockdown defenders can still cause turnovers. And it's this weird thing where steals don't directly connect to good defense. They do, but if you have a bunch of steals, you might not be they're almost like interceptions in football, right?
Yes. By the way, some of the recent examples of winners of the steals list. By the way, Chris Paul won it 6 times, by the way, which is impressive.
Steals champion?
Yeah. I mean, he was a really good defender, but some of the recent examples include Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, Victor Oladipo, and DeJounte Murray.
Those are all decent defenders.
Sure, you can't win the steals award without being at least a good defender.
Right.
But it's also De'Aaron Fox and Dyson Daniels and Draymond Green and Steph Curry.
I was going to say Steph definitely won it before because I remember having an argument about whether that makes him a good defender or not.
Steph won it the year he won unanimous MVP, the 73-9 season.
See, nobody called him a two-way player.
No. But by the way, 2.14. Only one player, this is crazy. I know we talked about this a little bit. Only one player in the last 35 years has averaged 3 steals per game in a season. It was Dyson Daniels last year.
The Great Barrier Thief. All right, let's get to TC real quick, who's been waiting, and he wants to talk about Maxime and, of course, some Kings talk. What's up, TC? Happy Friday. What you got for us?
Hey, happy Friday. So check it out, Allen. Hey, y'all got me clear?
We got you.
All right, so look, we're going to come in. Let's start with Keon because I did have Max. Give me a minute, Kyle. So let's start with Keon because I didn't know that article came out. And it is kind of the truth because if you sit back and watch Keon, I love Keon, right? But if you sit back and watch his defense, that's why he's always getting into silly fouls because he really can't slow anybody down. he's good with, like, gambling and then, like, making, like, smart decisions and then get a pick or get, like, an interception, if that makes sense. But he's never, like, just locking somebody down, standing in front and, like, really, like, locking you down. And when he does do that, he catches those silly fouls. You get me? So, I believe that article. Maxime, am I wrong? Is he kind of like Alper Sengun-ish with his footwork and how he's moving? Watch him and Alper. I'm not saying he's Sengun now, but he's trending that way, bro. If you watch him, I've been watching him a few games, and I'm saying he has Alper in him. Monk, is this a veteran? He was one of the veterans, or was Monk just saying, hey, let Neek get minutes, let Keon get minutes? I'm a fallback. I know I'm going to be here. When everybody ship out, I'm going to get my minutes again. Doug, you guys do what y'all got to do. I'm going to be the player to say I'm going to fall back. Have you thought about that?
Thanks for the call, TC. There ain't no way. There's no way. I mean, look, let me change that. There is a way. And all that reminds me of, and I got Whitey, who I don't know, he's in the back. I don't know if he saw Mighty Ducks. Kyle was too young to see Mighty Ducks because all I can think of is Banks in D2 Mighty Ducks, right? Coach, I woke up and the pain was gone. And then Captain Charlie says, Coach, he could take my spot. And he doesn't play in like the championship game. That happens in Mighty Ducks. I can't see that happening in the NBA. Hey, Coach, hey, they can have my minutes. There's no way. I mean, anything's possible, TC. But your notes on Maxime, I was grinding some Maxime tape during one of the breaks, and that kid is talented offensively, man. The floaters, the touch, getting to the rack, that dude can do some things offensively. So, hey, that's beautiful to watch. And the Sengun thing, I think Sengun might be a better passer. I think Sengun is a better passer. But I'm with you on the Maxime. I can't rock with you on the Malik said, Coach, I'm gonna be Charlie from D2 Mighty Ducks. They can take my spot. I can't do that one, TC. Thanks for the call. Whitey Gleason joins us to close out the show. Got to ask Whitey about this Keon Ellis stuff. And we got a dirty 15. We got college football playoffs. We got the NFL picks. Oh, Kyle's gonna work real hard on his last day of the year. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
So Pure Talk just had their best year ever and asked me if I'd like to thank their customers on their behalf for being so awesome. I said sure. It's important to say thanks, especially this time of year, which is why, as one of their many satisfied customers, I should probably thank Pure Talk first for keeping their customer service in this country and for providing hundreds of American jobs. I appreciate that. I also appreciate their Roundup program, which makes it easy to support America's Warrior Partnership and join the fight against veteran suicide. And I love that Pure Talk donated 1,000 hand-sewn Made in America flags to veterans around Independence Day. And of course, I really appreciate their generous support of my own foundation, MicroWorks, and their commitment to help us train the next generation of skilled workers. Having said all that, it's now my pleasure, on behalf of everyone at Pure Talk, to thank you sincerely for choosing to do business with an American wireless company that actually stands for something. And one more thing. Merry Christmas.
'Twas the night before Fasteners Inc.'s 12 days of Christmas sale. And all through the store, not a DeWalt tool was marked with a deal you could ignore. The bare tools and toolkits were stacked with great care in hopes that our DeWalt markdowns would stop shoppers mid-stare. So dash in today. Don't wait, don't delay. Fasteners Inc.'s 12 days of Christmas sale live now through Christmas Eve Day. Stop by 6701 Power Inn Road for massive savings on DeWalt products now through the 24th. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think Happy Honda Days. Let's explain. Happy is a good thing. We all like happy. Happy stands for quality, reliability, comfort, design, peace of mind, value at resale, and a lot more important words. And days is how long you have to take advantage of Elk Grove Honda's 2025 Accord, Pilot, and Ridgeline year-end clearance underway right now. Elk Grove Honda is located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or on the web at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California?
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
There's the hard way to buy a car, and then there's the Hoblet way. Transparent prices, fast paperwork, and a team that's there to help, not hover. We've spent 77 years refining this process so you can get in, get out, and get driving with zero drama. Car buying doesn't have to be stressful. At least, not when you do it the Hoblet way. Experience the difference at HobletDodge.com. The easy way to buy.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Tickets start at only $68. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the live music fan in your life. Country in the Park. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. With the California Office of Traffic Safety and Caltrans. Michelob Ultra and Bare Bones Workwear. More info at CITPFest.com.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
Whitey Gleason joins us.
Hello, Alan.
Whitey.
Calm down after your rant earlier.
You were listening to that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That was crazy, wasn't it, Whitey?
It was bizarre. I was worried. I almost came in early to make sure you were okay.
He was making me cry behind the glass. I was like, I don't know. What the Knicks, stop yelling.
I don't know if the 2-minute report is out yet. It isn't that I know of.
Oh, don't, because I'm going to I hope it does not come out in the next 15 minutes.
It's going to say correct call. I would bet you money. It'll say correct call.
Really?
Because there was contact there. Now, I'm with you. They shouldn't have called it there. But I would bet you I could lose on this wager, friendly wager.
Right.
But I'll bet you it says correct call. Westbrook makes contact with Avdia's elbow as he's putting the ball in shooting position.
It's just the spirit. You know, what is the spirit of the game? Why do we play the game? Do we play the game to grift, or do we play the game to actually score the basketball?
Yeah.
You know?
I'm surprised because I know Denny Avdia is your guy.
He is my guy, and he went off. But, you know, you knew it was coming, Mark Davis, and now we got to tell everyone you make $500,000.
How about this? Westbrook got run over by Avdia. Foul on Westbrook, says the referee.
Should have been a charge then.
Are the officials unfair to the Sac Kings?
Yeah.
Like the Christmas star, it's plain to see. There you go, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Kyle, I was thinking of the one we had. Just hold on, the vets are gone.
Something like that.
Whitey, what did you think about Maxime Raynaud? Career high. You said he was only playing because the Kings are bad.
I did? I don't recall that. I don't think I said that. You know what I like about him, aside the obvious? A lot of times on switches, he's out there and he's trying to guard guys on the perimeter.
Yeah.
And I don't know how good he is defensively yet. I don't think we know yet. But, I mean, he does a pretty decent job out there.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about, whether or not he could guard fours or not. And then we always just default to Aaron Gordon, but there are other fours out there. I want to see him play when Domas gets back. I want to see if he can play the four. I do. Yeah, it is so interesting seeing the difference between the NBA, Summer League, and then college, because there's just so much time in college, and I don't remember his three looking like that, right? And they're not really, they're letting him shoot it as well.
It was pretty funky looking.
Was it?
It went in, but it was a little funky looking.
It looks smoother to me, you know, but that part of it he has to get. He's got a good offensive skill set, and I like what I'm seeing from him. Don't know what to really do with it as far as his future and his future and his ceiling, if you will. But I do like what I'm seeing, Whitey.
I feel very close to him and the family because his dad liked one of my tweets again. So.
Oh.
Yeah, Felipe.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
There you go.
2 now or 3?
2 that I know of.
Why don't you get him on the show like me and...
By the way, I saw Kenyon yesterday.
I did too. He was in the building.
By the way, he was on our show before he was on your show, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's different now.
By the way, also sitting next to him was the youngest daughter who goes to Oregon now. They talked about just looks exactly like Chris and Keegan.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just crazy.
He said she was the best athlete in that family.
Oh, really?
That's what he said. But she's doing her thing at Oregon.
Isn't it funny, the two twins now, they definitely look different. You can,
yeah,
obviously, Chris he's a little thinner.
But you know what's so funny is I don't even, when it comes to twins, I don't know that, can Keegan grow that beard? Because I don't know that Keegan can.
I don't know.
Because Chris had the full on, and I'm looking at Keegan, I'm thinking, does he have that in the bag?
I remember one time when Keegan was a rookie and the Kings were playing an early game and March Madness was going on, so Chris was playing at the same time. And I remember looking, like switching the channels or something, or there were 2 TVs on. I might have been here, and it's like, it was just weird. It's
right,
like, that's the same guy. But now, and Sheena was saying that last night watching, you can see, yeah, they're obviously twins, but it's like you can tell them apart.
Yeah. No, you definitely can. You definitely can. Real quick, anything, and I know you're going to talk about it on the show, are you just shrugging your shoulders at the Malik Monk stuff?
Yeah, well, it's interesting that, Jason Anderson reported sources say nothing's going on, but I stay tuned.
Yeah, well, of course, Dave, I'm going to miss him. Or what did he say?
I know. He keeps doubling down on that.
Yeah, I hope he has a good next life or whatever he said.
But you can tell with Dave, that's not someone telling Dave, hey, here's what's going on. That's Dave. In my opinion, you can tell the difference, and this to me is just Dave.
Dave, just I think I hear on that. Well, I would be remiss because the Keon stuff came up and wanted to get to that. I would be remiss to bring up the college football playoff is kicking off tonight. There's a game tonight. Okay?
There is?
There literally is a game tonight. Alabama, Oklahoma.
Oh, that's one of the good ones.
Yes, that is tonight, and unfortunately, it's going to be raining. So
you know my take.
Excuse.
I'll pay attention at the quarterfinal.
Yeah, it's a good excuse, but this would be the one that you would pay attention to, Kyle. But whatever, do what you want to do, Kyle. 9 Alabama taking on 8 Oklahoma. Whitey, how do you feel about the college football playoff? Are you into the college football scene? You going to be watching?
I'll wait and see. I kind of liked it the way it was. You know, I get it. More teams So we'll see. Like I didn't even know there was a game tonight.
Yeah, there is a game tonight. And then obviously a couple more games this weekend, and you have Miami taking on Texas A&M, future Raider quarterback if they don't get Fernando Mendoza, Marcel Reed. Okay, that's tomorrow at 9 a.m.
You say you're going to watch, but you don't watch these games like last night. I had the Seahawks and Rams on, but then I was getting crazy, and then I had the Kings on, but I turned it off.
I do watch these games. I got real freaky last night.
Exactly. Exactly.
That was after.
That was at
about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I got real freaky last night. Tulane, Ole Miss, tomorrow as well. And then the night game, I'm really praying for this team, man. Oregon, James Madison. I just want James Madison to look respectable. I just don't want them to embarrass himself at all.
Was I the only one that thought the Seahawks were trying to look like the Oregon Ducks last night?
A little bit.
I heard that many times.
Feathers on their jersey or something in the green.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
The football games, NFL, I know we're up against it, Whitey, because I know you love this segment, so we have to go through it. Washington at Philly, or Philly at Washington, Green Bay at Chicago, yeah, that's a good one. Buffalo at Cleveland,
How many, what is something you like? How many, what would it be?
Running back yards?
No, just things you like baseballs, but obviously not baseballs. Pizzas.
Oh, yeah.
How many big plates do you give these games?
Oh, yeah. Green
5
Bay,
big plates.
Chicago, that's a couple big plates, man.
Okay.
Buffalo, Cleveland, no, I'm skinny on that one. Chargers, Cowboys, a couple plates.
2-plater?
Yeah, two-plater. All right. Is there anything else? Kyle is telling me we got to get out of here. Oh, Steelers, Lions, we'll see what they do. That's another good one. Plate and a half.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, Denver, and oddly enough, my Buccaneers, because I got Baker, Buccaneers, and Bryce, and the Panthers. All right, got to get on out of here. Thank you for listening to the Allen Stiles Show. Thank you for the callers, texters, sack chatters. Thank you to Kyle Ledbetter as always. Drive Guys up next. Whitey Gleason, Jay Johnson. Until Monday, well, goodbye, Kyle. But until Monday for me, secure the bag, light the beam.
Light the beam. Don't forget about podcasts.
I got real freaky last night. It was by myself.
Mommy, don't forget my podcast. Gotta go.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Year-end pricing's in effect. Every vehicle's priced to sell before the new year during Happy Honda Days at Folsom